Hey, everybody. If you're tuning into this and you're expecting a regular podcast, this is definitely not a regular podcast. This is a podcast where we sit down and watch the UFC fights and just sort of talk shit while the fights are going on. Don't even expect commentary. Don't expect that either. Don't expect anything. And hopefully you won't have your expectations shattered. But with me here is Uncle Creepy, Ian McCall, one of the top flyweights on the planet Earth. And my brother Jimmy Smith, one of the best analysts / MMA commentators / Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt / commentator for Bellator until they changed the name Bellator. And it should be like... For now still Bellator
Spike
MMA. TV, MMA. And what we're going to do is we're just going to talk while the fights are going on. There's a UFC fight night that's happening right now, live from San Antonio. And... we'll let you know. It's hard to sync up because there's a little bit of a delay between the internet and what's on television. I think it's like a 15-second delay. So what we'll do is we'll just give you, like, fight starts now with us, and so you'll know when to sync up with the very first fight. So until then, it'll be kind of a clusterfuck. But the card is pretty fucking dope. I'm very excited about Cub Swanson and Jeremy Stephens. That's a good fucking fight.
I'm not.
You're not excited about that?
He's been dogging this since we got in here.
I'm friends with both of them, and someone's getting their ass kicked tonight, and I'm like, fuck.
I'm friends with both of them, too. I like both guys tremendously. I like them as fighters. I like them as people. But, damn, I want to see them fight.
It's going to be exciting.
Oh, fuck.
It'll be good.
No doubt about it. Impossible to not be, right?
There's no way.
And also, Kelvin Gastelum, who missed weight again. He's fighting Nico Muskoki. Musoki? How do you say it? Musoki. Whatever you say it, the dude's badass. I've seen him fight. He's excellent. Very, very good fighter. He fights out of Sweden. He's one of those dudes that trains with Gustafsson, I believe. And he's very talented. He's very talented and like very complete all-around game. So that's the co-main event. And a lot of good fights on the undercard as well. It's live right now from San Antonio, Texas. Who else is on the card here? Let me see.
Diaz versus Lamas.
Yes, that's right. Ricardo Lamas is on this card, right?
Yeah.
Yes. He's fighting Hakran Diaz.
He fought in M1. I covered a few of his fights.
Did you?
Yeah, he's Novignon. Great jiu-jitsu. Got 9 submissions
Nice.
in his career. But he's exactly the kind of guy you want if you're Ricardo Lamas' camp. Because he's dangerous. He's not that well-rounded. There's not a lot of X factor to his game. You want Lamas, mentally ready to get back in there. I thought he had a good fight for the title, but you want your guy back on the horse pretty quick. Yeah, and Diaz is the right guy for that.
Yeah, what did you think of that fight with Lamas and
he's just
Aldo?
I think Aldo's just on another level.
Yeah, Aldo's just for the first 2 rounds, he's the baddest motherfucker on earth.
Yeah,
for the first 2 rounds.
Lazy.
Do you think it's lazy, or do you think he just can't keep that weight cut? That weight cut's brutal. The dude walks around in 170.
He's huge. Like, I saw him in Brazil, and Andy Plus, he just looks like a predator walking. So frightening. I was like, that guy is fucking scary.
What's strange about the Lamas fight, if you look at it, is that was a fight where he paced himself pretty well. Like, he didn't look like he was expending a ton of energy in the first 2 rounds like he usually does, and yet he still didn't have gas in the first 5th round. So I think it is the weight cut where it's just he only has so many minutes. The clock starts no matter what he does because he didn't do a lot of wild stuff in the beginning, and he still ran out of gas in the 5th round.
Do you remember when he fought in Toronto and they had that enormous card and they had all the fighters up on the deck and everybody sat? He was the one who fought Homnick.
He was going to pass out or
something.
So
sick.
He was so tired.
He was so sick that he couldn't just sit there. He couldn't sit there. They had to take him off the dais and they had to bring him downstairs. And this was before he weighed in. I mean, it's ridiculous to ask a fighter before they weigh in to put a fucking suit on and strap your belt on and pretend that everything's fine. When meanwhile you're on death's door. How much do you cut when you cut weight?
I was 140 after practice this morning.
And Ian fights at 125 pounds, one of the top 125 pounders on the planet. So he knows what the fuck he's talking about. So 140 for you, and when you get down like the week of the fight, what do you try to weigh?
I try to walk around under 140.
Like 139 is okay with you?
I'd rather be 135, but that's probably not going to happen.
And
I mean, the lighter I get, the better I fight, it seems.
Do you drink a shitload of water the week of to get your body used to just pumping it out of your system? Is that the idea behind it?
With distilled. I mean, it took us a few days to find distilled water in Brazil, but we did it.
Yeah, you have to find distilled water, right?
Yeah.
Why is that? No minerals in it? The minerals retain water?
It strips your body of all the salts and stuff and minerals. And then, but most people don't do this. You have to replenish your body with those minerals.
Right.
Like if you get like a company called Trace Minerals that makes trace minerals, you can I put them in my water before I go to bed every night.
Every night while you train.
Yeah,
that's a huge thing just for your health.
people don't understand, and my girlfriend she just learned out the hard way. So
She learned out the hard way.
or she learned the hard way. She works out so hard, does yoga, hot yoga like every day, twice a day. She's kind of crazy. I know she's listening. I love you.
Crazy in a good way.
She's a very nice
Throwing that
lady.
out there.
Yeah,
We've met her.
she's cool, crazy. But I bought her the drops because I know what she's doing. I give her all kinds of supplements. She does take her vitamins, but she just is hard headed and doesn't listen to me. But now she figured out she needs to take that stuff.
Well, what made her figure it out? You said
She got sick.
Oh, she
Just wasn't feeling good after, during a practice.
And you think it's because of minerals?
Yeah, well, she sweats out that much and doesn't ever drink, doesn't ever try and retain them.
Well, that's the thing that they were saying. Like they had a thing. Okay, first fight is going to go on right now. It's Joe Ellenberger versus James Muntasri. Shit, we probably should have listened to how it said. Muntasri. Let's go with Muntasri, right? I've never seen this gentleman fight in the UFC before. It must be one of his first fights.
He hasn't. He's been fighting really since 2011. I think he's had his first in like 2008 or something, but really since 2011 he's been fighting. So he hasn't been on the scene that long.
Fairly newbie, and
Yeah.
Ellenberger is the brother of Jake Ellenberger, who is a top UFC welterweight, and Joe Ellenberger's had some serious health issues. So for him just to get into the UFC, like a lot of people were saying that he was going to die, he was going to have a very short lifespan, he would never be able to fight competitively again. So to see him get in good enough shape to fight in the UFC is a huge victory for him.
They said he wouldn't live past like 30 or 35
something crazy
or
like that, yeah.
I remember seeing a walkout shirt, if I'm not mistaken. That I thought he was like on death's door at the time, or something. I forget what it was.
Yeah, it wasn't good. At one point in time, it was not good. So whatever his disease is,
The medication cost $440,000 a year,
Jesus.
and insurance isn't going to cover him.
and he's on that right now.
I don't know. I know
Oh
that. I
my
know that
God.
was the first problem. Obviously,
Oh
it's a
my
pretty big problem.
God! Fucking pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah, they're saying, well,
It's
you're
ridiculous.
gonna die soon, but the medication that'll save you is $440,000.
Yeah, let's jack up some sound here, Jamie, so we can see what's going on here. It's just nice to see him realize his dream, you know? That's got to be a brutal thing to see your health slip away. Oh, we just got tagged.
Yeah, to be a young athlete that's on just about to get on the big stage. He got signed 5 years ago?
Yeah, it was quite a while ago.
And this is his first fight.
What do you guys think about that position that keeps coming up over and over again now? I call it the Travis Brown. When dudes are going for that single and they're clinging on to that leg and they leave that exposed head and they just get blasted
That
with
short
elbows.
turn elbow, man.
Woo! Travis Brown throws some heat in those elbows.
He's a big, scary person.
Woo!
And he knows
Love that
exactly
guy.
where to put it.
Yeah.
Exactly where to put
And
it.
he fucking hammers them. Repeated. They're coming down fast and hard. Boom, 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 boom. By the time the referee gets there, the referee, especially if it's a fat referee, he's got to take 3 or 4 steps. Travis Brown's getting in at least 2 elbows on an unconscious opponent.
Oh, he put Josh out just
Out cold.
Instantly.
No one's ever done that
Instantly.
to Josh.
No.
Pedro Hizzo knocked him out before, but it was with one perfectly. Oh, beautiful flying knee attempt there. Ellenberger's got a guillotine.
Oh,
Nope.
weird in Ellenberger that's tough.
Yeah.
That knows how to wrestle.
Oh, look at this. Working on that Darce,
He's
trying to get that
not
hand
keeping his
through.
body weight on it, though.
Nope. Yeah.
He's out.
The struggle.
Now, if you're fighting a guy who's a late replacement like Muntasri, this is how you want to fight. Wear him out. Because if you're fighting a guy who's a late replacement, you have 2 options if you're Muntasri. Either come in and throw everything you got in the first round or try and conserve your energy, and Joe's not
Right.
letting him do either one of those.
What was the original opponent? Do you know?
I don't remember.
I don't remember
idea.
either. But Muntasri, what did he take this on 2 weeks' notice or something?
Something short.
What do you guys think about that touching the hand on the ground to prevent the knees? That seems super silly to me.
You can't do it when a strike is headed for you.
Right.
So guys do it really early. It's just, it's always going to be a tactic. You can't really get around it.
Well,
Yeah.
unless they change the.
Oh,
he
got
got
him.
hit hard. He got hit hard.
His
He's
eyes
hurt,
aren't
man.
open. He's really hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt hard. His eyes hurt.
His nose is busted.
I think it's his nose because he can't open his eyes.
Muntasri's getting after him. Damn. Watch the back of the head. Ooh.
He winced his eye. Whatever it was that happened, it was pretty fucking serious.
It looked like it popped his nose, I think.
Well, we'll probably get a shot at it in between rounds, but Muntasri is punching, and he's just covering up here, holding on. Lost the single. And he goes to his back. He looks like he's all right. You see blood?
I thought I saw
I think it's
blood.
from the nose, yeah.
Yep. Let's see Ellenberger's guard. Oh, exposed nose, too. Yeah, it is his nose. His nose is bad.
Your vision completely goes when that happens. Completely. Staying aggressive, but...
This is where it's super important to have a guard.
Yeah.
There's so many guys that just don't ever think they're going to be on their back.
No, it's come on, guys.
So few do.
Like when you see somebody off their back and you're like, wow, like you don't know what you're doing.
You have no idea what you're doing. You're completely lost. I've talked to guys who are top-level guys, and they're like, man, I'm not going to be on my back. I'm like, okay, well, you hope you're not going to be on your back. And I hope for you you're not going to be on your back. But if you're fighting somebody like you, don't you think you could probably put you on your back? Yeah, well, there's yous out there, dude.
Yeah,
They're
I'm not the only one.
Yeah, it's like the idea, acting like you're the only guy that can do a certain thing. That's crazy. Like thinking you're the only guy that can take you down. You take guys down, so you're going to be on top always? That seems unlikely.
There's no weapon in MMA you don't need.
Absolutely.
And it's funny when you talk to guys and you're in the gym and they go, I don't want to know that. And I went, it's like going into war and going, I don't need grenades. I'll never be in the situation where I need a grenade.
Bro, I'm a bayonet fighter.
Bro, I'm a bayonet fighter. I don't need a
get
grenade.
Up close. I want to look them in the eyes when I take their life.
I'm a sniper. I don't need a grenade. Well, you're going to be in that position where you go, God, I just wish I had a grenade right now.
Exactly.
It's the same mentality, man.
Yep. Ellenberger's, his nose is fucked. Oh, Mutasri's mounting him. Good hip escape.
30 seconds
that's the
to
other
go.
thing a lot of guys don't have. They have shitty sweeps and half guard.
Yeah.
Like his go-to deep half here, he's just sort of lingering around in his half guard. He should be sucking up to that guy's body, but I think Ellenberger's hurt here. I think he's still trying to recover.
Half guard is one of those things you see all the time in high-level jiu-jitsu. They have outstanding half guards, and you almost never see a good half guard in MMA.
So true. Guards and half guard. Just anything off your back. Is it punches and elbows? It's got to be what it is. Guys don't want to get punched in elbows.
They just want to hold.
Yeah.
I want to submit somebody. It's
an option.
Yeah.
It's like Daniel Cormier was saying, we were talking before this thing started, that Cormier and Dominic Cruz are fucking killing it as analysts. I love listening to those guys talk and their insight. But one of the things that they were talking about the main event, Cub Swanson and Jeremy Stevens, was that Jeremy Stevens has got to be a little bit more unpredictable. He's got to throw a few more variables into the mix, like takedown attempts and things along those lines. And I've always said that's like, even if you don't want to take a guy down, if you make a guy think that you're trying to take him down, then he has to think about that, and that's one more piece of information he has to process. If you're only making a guy process stand-up, it's infinitely easier. It's so much easier. It's the main reason why Georges St. Pierre was so successful. Beside the fact that he's a bad motherfucker, he was one of the very best at, you didn't know what was going on. You didn't know if he was going to try to take you down or if he was going to stand up with you. And the comfort level that he had, because he had fought so many championship fights, he'd been there, done that many times. So you'd see guys, they'd be in the bright lights, holy shit, I'm fighting GSP, and they just didn't know what was coming. And those two factors together combined for an incredible, oh, look at this. They're checking
And look at his right eye.
Ellenberger's eyes.
Look at his right eye.
Justin Bieber's in the cage with him.
Holy shit. I think they're worried about a fracture. When you can't, a lot of times when the eye drops like that, that's what they're worried about. But it looks like they're letting him go.
Yeah, it could be a fracture. A lot of times when it's a fracture, the eye swells up. Really
Yeah,
quick,
and the lid drops and they can't really move the eye.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. There. Wow, look at that.
That's what it looks like.
Oh.
That's crazy. Yo, I've never seen a
Looks like
closed
sloth.
eye like that. It looks weird.
Looks like sloth, man.
You know what it looks like? It looks like the nerves in his eye just stopped working. Like it's not swollen up.
Ugh.
It's just shutting.
Well, he was wincing for a reason.
Yeah.
He's probably fucked on that side. He probably can't see left hooks at all, though.
Yeah.
It's funny, oh, shit. You
him.
see a guy who's going through a situation like Ellenberger is, you can't help but root for him.
Yeah.
But Mutasri, he's
looking
doing a
good.
great fucking job in this fight.
He is.
Especially on short notice. Looks very good.
What's funny to me about, like we were saying about not having complete games is that's something that happens in all combat sports, and yet people don't think it applies to MMA. In boxing, they always say, if you can't sell the jab, I'm not going to buy your right hand.
Yep.
If you don't sell me on the first one, you're not going to get the combination. And people don't think that way in MMA, which is a little strange.
Yeah, and and right here, Ellenberger's got Mutasfi's back. Very nice.
And he has a leg in on the cage side, which is the hard side to get in.
So fucking hard to get a rear naked choke with these goddamn gloves.
Yeah.
For folks who just do jiu-jitsu, do yourself a favor one day and do some... Ooh, I like how he's trapping the arm. Do some jiu-jitsu. Got the both hooks in. Do some jiu-jitsu with gloves on. You'll be astounded at... It makes chokes 20% harder. 20% harder to get.
See, I would take the arm with my leg.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, especially after having BJ do it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. It's just frightening. Rolling with
BJ's
it.
so good at that. He loves getting that rear naked choke, trapping the arms.
Yeah, and it's when he's only 160 pounds. I was 150 going out there, and he felt so heavy on top. Was he so good on the ground? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, BJ in his prime was one of the elite in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
A lot of folks don't know that. And he got there quick.
First non-Brazilian world champion, took it in 3 years.
3 years. He got his black belt and boom, won the Mundials. He's got the Dars.
Dars.
Ellenberg's got this Dars. He better...
He's got to sit his hip out.
If he pulls this off, good for him.
Seriously.
Yeah, he needs it.
You can't help but root for the guy.
Got a lot of space there under that right armpit, though.
He's going to give it up. Yeah, he's
trying
reaching now.
again.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's ducking under it. Jeff Glover style.
Yes.
There we go. Wait.
That kid's a stud.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't have it, though.
Nope. And
Now
Mutasfi's on.
Yeah, now he's on top.
Didn't put his hips down.
Do you like the Japanese necktie? Do you ever use that?
I find them really hard to get.
Really?
I have really big form. It's really hard for me to get them. Japanese
Stop jerking
necktie,
off so much,
Dars-
bro.
No, dude, I can't, man. I'm on the road 3 months at a time, bro. 3 months I'm on the road.
Get yourself a fleshlight.
Oh, my God.
Use the code word Rogan. Save 15%. Ellenberger's still on the bottom here. Hey, what did you think of Glory? How fucking awesome was that?
It's good, man.
I had
It was a fun show.
two of my boys,
Yeah?
Joe Schilling and Shane Oblonsky.
Dude, Schilling's a
Schilling's
fucking
a monster.
beast.
He's a monster.
That dude is a beast.
That knockout of Simon Marcus. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
That mouthpiece
Fourth
all
round.
boing.
Yeah.
And he was spitting it out.
on purpose.
That was a good deduction, man.
It was. Big John
Very good
McCarthy.
deduction.
He knows his shit. Big John McCarthy knows his shit.
The problem with the one-day tournament, though, is it's won by the time the finals rolled around. I mean, Schilling was just like, I have another fight.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, he just didn't have a lot left.
Well-
That's what I hate seeing, is when it's decided before. I mean, he walked in there going, I was amazed he could walk
Yeah.
to the ring by the
It's
time he had been
incredible.
through those fights.
Fighting 3 guys in a night
Oh.
is preposterous.
They had Shane come out. I mean, granted, Shane isn't in shape ever. He throws up after every time he works out. The guy's just really talented. But from the last punch he threw, they waited 30 minutes, and that's what they said. He literally, they read that he won. He walked in the back. They changed his gloves, and then he walked back out.
Wow.
And that was, I mean, I'm sure Joe's was just as hard.
Wow.
They're savages.
And
Seriously.
this Shane Del Rosario, is that who you're talking about?
No. Shane Oblonsky.
Shayna. Okay.
No, Shane Oblonsky.
Shane Oblonsky.
Yeah, he fought.
And
in
he
the
fought in the
45.
feather. Oh, he fought in the
Yeah.
featherweight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Made it to the finals and
Yeah.
lost to Varga. He's huge at that weight. I was weight cutting with him and he missed it. I was so fucking pissed.
Did he miss it?
I was like so mad at him.
How bad did he miss it by?
2 pounds.
For the beginning fighters listening to this, nothing will piss off a promoter more than not making weight. It is
Yeah, it's
pretty
not
much
good.
like not showing up for work on like your second day. You'll get canned fast. They hate that.
Now,
Yeah.
Ian, obviously you're so close to this, it's hard to look at it objectively, but do you think that they should abandon weight cutting? Do you think they should move to abandon weight cutting? And do you think it's ever possible to abandon weight cutting?
Yes, they should. Healthier. I'm sure I take a few years off my life every time I do it. I mean, like when I cut in Florida, I cut 18.8 in the last 20 hours.
Oh.
And I felt like at first your hearing goes,
Yeah.
and then your vision goes, and then you feel your body start to cramp up. And you're like, I'm fucking dying.
Literally.
Holy shit, this is how people die. And then you have to put on a smile, walk out, and stare at
Flex.
the person. Yeah, flex and stare at the person that you're going to fight tomorrow. And then you get to drink and
Take a couple of sips of Pedialyte right after you step off the scale because you're literally dying. Yeah, I've seen some people that look like they're dying.
They tried to, in the NCAAs a few years ago, for those that follow it, they had, you weighed in once, and then you had the whole NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
You know, so you weighed in once, and then you wrestled for 3 days. Then a kid at Michigan died cutting weight.
Yeah.
It was kind of, they tried to make it easier by having one weight cut, and then they could wrestle 3 days, and then they realized that just encouraged people to cut more weight.
Yeah.
And a kid from Michigan died, and now you got to weigh in every time. And it's like, when they make it harder, you know, it's like, oh my God, how can you make people weigh in and then fight? Well, it encourages people to cut less weight.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't win. When they tried to make it like you had a day in between, guys just cut more weight because they had a day to rehydrate.
Yeah,
it's like,
I
so
cut
which
a lot
way
of
can
weight
you
in high
go?
school.
Yeah,
It's in high school.
In
too.
high school,
you have
guys are
coaches
cutting
that
weight,
treat
dude.
you like you're a pussy if you don't cut weight.
Oh, putting on plastics and and you're 14.
My coach was a
15.
world champion at 17.
Oh no.
He was from Iran.
Oh no.
Oh,
A little
Iranian.
Iranian guy,
Oh.
17, and was world champion. And
Fuck.
he left the country, so he was in exile out here and wasn't able to wrestle in the Olympics, and he would have won gold.
Oh my god.
The studs here.
And that's the person I was raised in wrestling by. I was living in his house like 2 days a week, fucking screaming at me in Farsi. Persian food is the best food for you. Fuck you. There are no camels in Iran.
You had the Iron Sheik
Oh, yeah.
every morning
But
yelling at you.
the
Hilarious.
man did things that I've never seen other people do.
Yeah.
Like he's just and the best person. I mean, he definitely saved my life.
That's awesome, man.
It's great, man.
But as a wrestler, he was a savage.
Yeah, well, those guys, man. First of all, wrestling in that part of the world is enormously important. It's a hugely coveted Olympic sport.
Yeah.
Wrestling in Iran is gigantic.
They-
When the
He
Iron
used to
Sheik,
wrestle his cousins for food. Like the families used to have whoever won, the kids won, they would buy the dinner, or the loser would buy the dinner.
Jesus Christ.
He'd be in the sauna with me, massaging me like a 16-year-old kid, cutting weight, massaging me, trying to get me to cut weight, and people would be looking at us, and they were like, "What the fuck is this old man doing? Like, why does he have a little boy making him sweat in here?" Because the thing about me in high school, how small I was, 103 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow. What weight class did you wrestle?
103?
Threes, 12s, 19s.
And what did you actually weigh before you started the cut? Do you remember?
Man, by senior year, I was probably 35.
I was supposed to cut weight in high school, but I wouldn't do it. So I walked around at 135 pounds and I wrestled at 134 pounds.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not doing it. I just like, you guys are dying. I see it all around me. There was a kid that was one weight class above me, this really big, tall kid. I forget what his name is. But he used to weigh like, he would wrestle at 140 something and he would weigh 170 pounds. And I just didn't understand that. He was a big kid. You know, we were 15 at the time, or he might have been a little older, maybe 16. But he was a big kid. And I was watching this guy put on rubber suits and run up hills and rolling around with covered in towels and shit. And I was like,
Hiding under the wrestling mats, trying to
Hiding
snowboard.
under the wrestling mat.
I'm
Everybody does
I'm
that.
not doing it. And I cut weight a few times for Taekwondo tournaments, and then I went up a weight class and fought. I weighed 154 and fought 154. It was just, for me, it was way better. I was just too lean anyway. I was always walking around very low body fat, so I just felt terrible.
The worst I ever saw was Marcos Galvan when he fought Chase Beebe in Bellator. He could barely get on the scale. Like, he couldn't walk. And then he got off the scale, and he was going to the elevator, and he sat down, and he started convulsing. He started shaking. And what people don't understand is the next day against Chase Beebe, he looked great.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
The
IV the guy
amount they
up.
get back almost
Incredible.
encourages that kind of shit. Where you go, if they walked in there and just felt so bad they couldn't fight,
Yeah.
you wouldn't see guys do it.
Well,
They
you do
recover
see
so
some
well
guys,
that it
though.
encourages them to do it.
You do see some guys
Yeah.
that you know they're taking.
You know
the
they're
hit.
hurting.
Like, you know, they get down to that. Like, a perfect example is that dude who was Daniel Serafian, who was a killer
Yeah.
at 185 pounds. Just fought at 170. And you could see for the moment he stepped into the octagon, he barely made weight. And the moment he stepped in the octagon, he just
Didn't do
he
anything.
couldn't grab it. It was just missing. His timing was off. His strength was off. He just didn't have it. Marquardt just decided to go back up to 85, beat Tahuna last night.
Yeah.
What did he say? God made him do it or something?
God made him do it. God told him to fight at 185. Ian,
That's
don't you question God? Fuck
Hey,
you
I'm
know,
a- I'm a
bro.
failed
Fan little
Catholic,
baby
Ellenberger
Jesus.
looking to slap on this triangle. He looks like he's a little tighter with it now.
Guys
Lost
don't
the
angle.
arm.
Guys don't angle their hips enough.
No.
You never said that in MMA.
They also don't know rubber guard. I mean, you know, I know a lot of people are prejudiced against Eddie Bravo techniques, but that fucking mission control to triangle.
They don't know how to attack off their back with anything.
Holding
elbows.
The rubber guard in MMA is one of the best moves ever because you can hold a guy down with your arm. You grab him, and you're not just pulling down with your arm, you're pulling down with your legs as well. And if you have a good triangle set up off of that, it's just a phenomenal move. So many guys don't do it. So you're left just trying to use your legs to pull the guy down, or you reach up and grab his neck. He knows what you're doing. If you get your hand, that underhook on that ankle, and you're pulling down on that ankle with good flexibility and a good rubber guard, that mission control position is a devastating position.
But even coming from, in my case, Carlson Gracie style, which is a lot of open guard and stuff like that, like Merle Bustamante, hips are always moving. They're just active the whole time, whether you believe in that or not.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what your school is, it's active hips and active fundamentals, and guys have surprisingly little of that. You know,
Yeah, well, Jiva's my coach.
Jiva's a stud.
And people don't know, like
Total stud.
Jake Shields just came in and rolled, and Jake's always had an open invitation to the gym, and he just showed up one night. And I'm like, oh, what's up, dude? So you guys should roll. And then after he rolled with Jiva, he's like, why didn't you tell me that he was so good? He's like, I usually come into gyms and I don't want to embarrass the coach, so I roll easy. He's like,
holy,
I've never been swept so much. Like he was like, wow, you know, or Jared Wallens. Remember when he elbowed War Machine?
Yeah.
That's Jiva. Like Jiva's fuck, man, it's crazy how good he is.
All butterfly guard.
Butterfly guy does everything. I mean, I wouldn't say rubber guard stuff. Some of the guys do
back.
so good off his back.
crazy,
So important.
really good.
I mean, and it's basic, you know, armbar type jiu-jitsu with a lot of elbows, pushing the head out, hips out, blasting people, you know, like trying to create damage.
Who do you think has got the best guard in MMA right now? Fabricio? Verdum? I mean, the dude fucking finished Fedor.
For years, it would have been Minotauro. I think we're past that point. It used to be in his prime, Minotauro, heavyweight wise. Damian Maia's got a great one.
I don't totally agree with that. I think
Minotauro had an
amazing guard, but I believe if you put Fabricio Verdum in the same scenario, he would tap those guys quicker.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think anybody's better than off their back than Verdum.
He is outstanding. He is really great.
You see, he's insane. The way he keeps his feet on the hips, the way he keeps guys moving around. You watch that Fedor fight. It's not just impressive the way he submitted him. It's like the fight was over as soon as he was locked up in his guard.
He snatched that thing up. He took it out of fucking midair. It wasn't like he fell into it.
Minotauro never could do that. I mean, Minotauro
would take a lot. He would take a ton of damage and then get something. And a lot of them you go, is this really worth it?
Yeah.
You are getting the years beaten out of you, man.
But he couldn't pull it off in his prime on Fedor.
No,
and granted, Fedor was in his prime in that fight, and he wasn't in his prime in the Verdum fight.
Yeah.
But still, Verdum, I think,
Amazing
watching
guard.
it, I think he's the best. You know who's really good? He doesn't get a lot of credit for is that Charles Oliveira kid.
Yeah.
That kid's wicked off his back.
Very good guard.
Wicked standing up too, man. That fight with Frankie Edgar was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He fought last night, right?
I don't know if I didn't see it last night.
He fought in on the Tahuna card.
Ellenberger wins a decision.
Powerful Ellenberger. Good for him, man. Good for him.
Let's hope that eye isn't.
I know, man. I hope he didn't
bad.
destroy his eye.
Yeah, he fought last night. Trying to find the fight card. Here it is. The UFC.com, not the best fucking website in the world. He fought Hatsu Hioki, and he beat Hatsu Hioki.
Decision or
I don't
finish
know.
him?
I haven't seen it yet. We could watch that later.
Shinya Yoki for a lot of years, I think had one of the best guards in MMA.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh my god!
Yeah, what do you think about the tights? Like that was like the big thing that he wore tights in Pride, which are great for traction.
Yeah,
but they wouldn't let him wear it when he fought anywhere else.
I don't really understand that.
He stopped Hioki. It was the first time Hatsu Hioki got stopped. And by the way, Hioki just a couple of years ago was thought of as the #1 guy.
Yep.
At 145 pounds, and
has not done so hot.
He got an arm-in guillotine. He got him with an arm-in guillotine. The way he cinched it up, it looks like he wrapped it up Dar style. Interesting.
My arms aren't that long.
I know, man.
Yeah, all three of us in this room, we got little stubby fucking
Seriously.
monkey arms. Yeah, I envy guys like Tony Ferguson. Those long ass fucking arms. Tony gets darces from everywhere.
Bill Cooper from Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh yeah.
Lock you up, you're done, man.
Hodger Gracie, another perfect
Holger.
example. Those long arm dudes, man. They just really know how to get those certain submissions. That was the worst spinning bat butt.
Not good.
It was like
Not good at all.
spinning bat butt kick. But props to that dude for taking that fight on short notice like
Last
that.
minute, I think a little prep, you might have won that one.
It's a good fight too. It was a fun fight. It was
Joe got his
close.
ass kicked for the first 5 minutes.
He did.
Yeah, that fucking eye looked pretty bad, man. That eye looked real bad. So let's see what else we got here. What is next? This fucking fight card. I'm so excited about this main event. I know it's real close to you, buddy, and I know it's hard for you, but I'm excited about this.
Sometimes I just don't want to see my friends get beat up.
Of course, right?
It makes
It's understandable.
not very good. I don't know. I don't mind getting beat up myself.
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
It's a lot of guys say that it's harder when you're walking your teammates up than it is when you're walking yourself up. Do you feel like that?
Completely.
Yeah, because
Completely.
I just want to go. I know what I'm doing. You know, I can control what's going on, and usually it ends up pretty well. So I just I like it. But with other people, it's like sometimes you're thinking, you suck at this, you suck at that. Don't do that. Don't look at me and smile and get thrown. Like
That's the worst.
I have heard in my career some really horrible coaching.
Oh.
And that stands out to me, I think, more than anything when you're commentating and like it's in between rounds, man. I know pay-per-view and on TV is very different.
Yeah.
Depending on what you do, whether or not we see the rounds, see the coaches in between rounds is up to the producer and all this stuff. So a lot of times I'm sitting there watching the coach and play-by-play guy's doing something and I'm like, that is the worst advice I have ever heard. Like they don't know what they're talking about.
I like that you'll
It's
say that.
Awful.
You will say that though.
I'll call them out, man.
Yeah.
I will. I'll call, and then, like they're pissed at me later, man. Sometimes I've gotten a couple people mad at me, but that is just the worst. Or you're winning this fight, and I'm like, what fight
what
are
are you
you
watching?
looking at? You are down 4 rounds to none.
Yeah, it's
You
never good to lie to your fighter.
Cheerleading.
Some
I
guys
hate
give
cheerleading
awesome
in the corner.
advice though. Some guys
Some
are
do.
really good. You know, I think he's the best. Matt Hume.
Very good.
He's so
such a good
specific.
coach.
Yeah.
He's so specific about
Yeah.
what's going on and what you're doing wrong or what you could do to make that a little bit better. Very technical.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear other guys where it's like, it's you all day long. Put your punches together. Like they say a bunch of shit. Push the pace. Like, what are you saying? You're not saying anything.
The worst, one of the worst I remember distinctly was BJ Penn's corner saying, "Go at him."
Oh,
like
no.
over and over and I think it was actually the Jens Pulver fight. This is way back for the old
no.
fans. And they're going, "Go at him, Hilo style." Like 20 times. And I went, that you're not saying anything. It was
Hilo style.
But it was like his talent had always gotten him that far. So when it didn't work, they didn't know what to do. It's like we'd never coached him before. Why are we going to start now?
It's super
It was
tough
just,
when
I
you have
remember
that
laughing my
dynamic
ass
too,
off,
right?
man.
When you have that
Yeah.
dynamic of one guy's the alpha, the super alpha.
Yep.
Have you ever
like
been to Hilo?
BJ? No. I've been to Hilo, but I've never been to BJ's camp.
Yeah.
I just stayed at his parents' house.
What is it like?
It's so much fun.
Yeah?
I would move there if I could. I love
So
those
beautiful.
people. It's so beautiful, and it's like the little town my girlfriend was raised in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Minden, Nevada, Gardnerville, like right below Tahoe.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that surrounded by jungle. It's a tiny little town,
That's cool.
and everyone's cool, and you just sit around and go to the beach. and
But there's a
train.
lot of fights, isn't there? A lot
Awesome.
of fist fights.
Like,
Awesome.
children
Look
should be
excited.
getting into fist fights.
Children should be getting into fist fights. You tell your daughter that?
Well, no, the girls shouldn't ever fight. That's disgusting. But
Tell us
I
how you
mean,
really feel about
Be
women's MMA
careful.
while we're
But
There's a
what I'm
big
saying,
UFC bout this weekend. You might get a fucking text
Oh,
message from
I
DFW.
get, you don't understand how much shit talking I get. I fuck with everybody. It's Twitter, simmer down, and then you get people saying some nerdy shit. Like Roy McDonald sent me the wiki links to like idiot or something. I was like, oh, that's a real good comeback.
What did you do to
Fucking
deserve
nerd.
that?
You said he had never gotten in a fist fight.
I'm just saying
That the UFC is creating pussies that have never been in a
the
fist
world's
fight.
toughest
world's
pussies.
toughest pussies.
We have the best
which is an
athletes in the world.
awesome quote.
We have the world's best athletes, and Doug Demetrius. I doubt he's ever even been in a fist fight in his life, but he beat my ass one day. You know, that second fight he beat me up. So I'm just saying that a lot of guys, they just aren't scary. Like I come,
But to go from not scary to pussy is a pretty big leap.
Yeah,
Like to go
scary
just
in
not,
what way?
You know.
You mean he's not an animal? You mean like
Yeah,
if some shit goes down on the
BJ
street?
wants to beat the shit out of you and then lick his gloves,
Right.
and Chuck wants to beat the shit out of you and bone your chick. And sorry, just kidding. I'm just a joke.
Back in the day,
Back in the
allegedly,
day.
whatever.
Yeah. But that's who I was raised by. So I have a different outlook on it. It's this
Right.
fucking savages and not
Right.
the guys that are just there to be athletic.
One of the biggest
It's
transitions.
just me. I'm a dick. I'm sorry.
Well, no, one of the biggest transitions in MMA over the last 10 years has been it used to be a sport of martial arts and fighters. Now it's a sport of athletes.
Yeah.
And I go, these guys they're just stud athletes who kind of went in that direction. They didn't grow up going, watching Bloodsport and wanting to be that guy or, getting in fistfights and going, gee, I'm going to go to jail if I don't do this for money.
Yeah.
That breed, those two halves are kind of gone. Now it's like these crazy good athletes that kind of grew up. Yeah, I was a cross-country runner and I was a football player and I went into MMA. So I get what you're saying in the terms of it's become more of a sport of athletes, of guys with just have athletic backgrounds.
Like
never
Oven
really
St. Preux, guys who are really good at other sports, who like Matt Mitrione.
Yeah.
Really good at football.
Freaky athlete.
I just happen to say things in a really rude manner,
I got you.
as always.
I got you.
Well, you make a point, though. I see what you're saying.
I'm translating. I'm a translate for
Yeah.
Ian. What he means is
Most
it's become a sport
what I
of
say is
athletes.
stupid, and he just wants to sound better. I get
It's
myself
my
in
job.
trouble.
It's part of my job.
Clint Hester
Joe and I have to
is
do
about
that.
to fight now. He's fighting Antonio Braga Neto. And Hester, who fights at 185, they were just saying on the Underground how he weighed in today at 205.
He's pretty scary.
He's a
looking.
big fella, and he's a good athlete too. That's a strong cat, hard striker. And Neto, who is he's fought in the UFC before. I think he's 9-1. I think he's fought in the UFC. We look at his because I know there's some guys that are making their debuts.
Machida was into that Glory fight, man. There's just a commercial with Machida on it
Did you
right
see
now.
that Machida said that he was interested in
Yeah.
fighting
Artem
Levin, which is crazy.
I train with Romy Adanza. He's probably the best 15-pounder that this country's ever seen. It's 112-pounder, and when he
That dude's a stud.
when he turns it up, oh my God, it is so scary. I mean, he's the only guy that they bring ties over, and he knocks most of them out. And
Wow.
he's a 112-pound fighter, and he hits like a heavyweight. It's fucking crazy. He's the only person I'm afraid of. Where I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna fucking put me out at any point. And that's high level kickboxing. That's world class kickboxing.
I used to train with Malapet over at North Hollywood Muay Thai.
You know how scary it is.
Dude, holy
Very, very
Jesus!
scary.
It was like you got shot by a gun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was what? Yeah, I was getting a guy named Kenny Johnson who just cornered actually a wrestler. I was cornering him for a fight out in Orange County somewhere, and Malapet was fighting Wildman Denny in the main event. And
The king of the cage?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And they're two separate rooms, and in the room next to us, it sounded like someone was shooting a rifle off. Like literally, I got up and I turned, and it was Malapet hitting pads.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. You get hit, it's horrible.
Yeah, you got guys
It's
like
awful.
Yotsin Clay.
Yotsin Clay, Fairtex.
We're a
Oh.
Fairtex. We're a Fairtex gym affiliate. Yeah, and it's just, oh my God, the guy that he hit Romy with an elbow like 5 seconds in, just what, and then all of a sudden started smiling and pointing, and then Romy was like fucking turned around and just had this giant
Vagina in the front of your
face
head.
pussy on his head, and it was
I saw that fight.
fucking scary.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
it's
nasty. He's nasty.
Like Super Bond and those little Thai guys. I mean, they're like they want us to go out there, and I'm like, I don't want to go out there, dude. Fucking.
And those
get my ass
guys
kicked.
hardly ever spar.
They don't
That's
have-
what's
Hardly ever.
interesting.
They
They
fight.
save
They fight
themselves.
300 times.
Yeah.
By the time they're 25,
Which is just absolutely incredible.
If you've ever been to Thailand, it's really weird when they have a 5-round fight. They don't fight in the first round because they're feeling each other out. They kill each other rounds 2, 3, and 4, and they don't fight in the 5th round.
carry each other.
They carry each other. And I asked my coach at the time I was training in Thailand, I go, why do they do it? And he goes, you fight next week.
Yeah.
There's no like we already know who won basically on the cards. So why would you destroy your body? You got to fight in like a week.
Wow.
They just don't give a shit. So the 5th round, it's like, all right, I know you won, so let's just
And a lot of
carry it.
gambling stuff.
A lot of gambling.
that is so
That's true, too.
interesting that they do that. Do you think that Thai decisions are better? They're better at making decisions because that's the big issue in MMA. Is like, don't leave it in the hands of the judges, which I hate
Dude,
hearing.
I
that.
hate that expression.
Yeah.
We just
It's
we have
one
a
of my least
a
favorites.
shitty judging system that
Yeah.
we need to change. But how are we going to change it? Fuck, there's so many options, and the people have so many ideas, and they all seem okay, but there's always holes in them. And it's
Yeah.
like,
You get bad decisions in boxing that's been around for 100 years, and you have 12 rounds, and you get horrible decisions.
Remember that one woman?
You know?
There was one woman who was a boxing judge who she judged Bradley
We allowed to say
over
her
Pacquiao. I don't remember her
She
name.
also called
Adelaide
the
Bird.
no,
Mayweather.
it's not her. It's another one.
No,
Yeah.
the Mayweather fight. She called it a draw. Mayweather and
Alvarez.
Canelo.
Yeah, and everybody was like, "What the fuck?" It was so bad that they brought in the Nevada state governor.
They kicked her out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they kicked her out and they brought in the Nevada state governor. And the real concern amongst people in the know was that she might be getting paid off by gamblers. That a gambler
For sure.
who wanted to ensure, like, if you've got a fight where you know a guy's going to win by decision, like Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo, you could safely bet a lot of money knowing that Floyd. I mean, shit can happen.
Yeah.
Canelo can win, but most likely you're going to see Floyd box his face off.
Yeah.
Most likely, and that is what happened. But if she didn't see it that way, and she makes it a draw, and then it's not a majority decision, or now it's not a unanimous decision, you could bet against it not being a unanimous decision.
Yeah.
Vegas will let you bet on anything.
Yeah.
And so, okay, Braga versus Hester, and Braga does have one fight in the, or Neto rather, he does have one fight in the UFC, and he's got a victory. He fought on the Verdum
Hester's
undercard.
Scary looking.
Yeah, I've
He's
seen
a
Hester
beast.
fight, and this is his style, that athletic, hands down kind of explosive style, but he's getting caught by that left a lot. This dude's a beast. They do not look like they're in the same weight class.
Yeah, he's enormous. That's cutting that weight, baby. Cutting that weight, it works.
I like seeing that our new bantamweight champ is doesn't cut much weight. Doesn't seem like he does.
No, I don't think he cuts much weight at all. TJ, I think at the
he
most
looks
cuts
so
a couple of pounds. Yeah, he's a beast. And that's a perfect example of finding the right teacher and the right pupil.
Yeah.
Him and Dwayne just fucking gel together. And Dwayne is just a total madman. So Neto is he's a world champion under Gordo.
Who's this
Trains
stud?
at Evolve MMA in Brazil.
Evolves the rich guy's gym.
I do not know.
I know that's the one in Singapore. I think.
Let's see.
I've
There's a
trained at Evolve
Wikipedia
in
page
Singapore.
for
Yeah.
Yeah, Chatri.
When we were out,
Yeah, you're right.
Chatri
Yeah.
Johnson class.
Sit Yo Dong.
sit the dome, yeah.
I love that all these rich dudes are doing that. Like
Yeah.
these crazy
Fuck
guys,
it. Yeah.
like Dan Lambert
Yeah.
from American Top Team, and the guy that did it over at Black Zillions. I love that these guys are doing that. And they're and the same thing with Texas too. Team Takedown.
Yeah.
You know all
the wrestlers?
Yeah, all
Used
those
to have
wrestlers.
everybody.
Those motherfuckers. Those guys get paid. They get like a salary. You get these rich dudes that
Nice.
find animals. Like Johnny Hendricks, they find these fucking animals, give them a world-class facility, hire world-class coaches, guys like Mark Lehman to go out there and teach them jiu-jitsu, great striking coaches and wrestling coaches, and just build world champions, man. They have a weird deal, too, where they give up like 50% of their purse to the gym. Like the gym pays for everything, gives them a salary, takes care of everything, but then the gym gets a big cut of their winnings.
Now, I want to bring up something that we're in the right. We have the right
Look at
people.
this, look how slick this guy is.
Yeah, and he's putting pressure on us, not letting him up.
Yeah.
That snake.
That system, that situation. There was a fighter that will remain nameless, and we were like, he had kind of plateaued, and we said, you should move on, man. I don't think your gym's doing it right for you. Like just as a friend.
Right.
And he went, they're paying me a salary that I really can't leave. Like he was like, I can't afford to walk away. They're paying me too much to leave and find the right gym. And it was interesting. I was like, yeah, man, that system where it's, if you're not fighting for your purse and a guy's paying you a salary, but you're not getting the train you need, could it keep you somewhere? I think maybe the downside of that kind of system. You're kind of tied to it.
Yeah, that could be the downside to that system if the guy's not fully committed to his athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's an all-in sort of a proposition. If you're going to start that kind of a big gym,
Yeah.
you gotta be fully committed to your athletes.
And you're gonna pay for whatever they want, whatever coach they want. If someone's not good enough, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
If I'm beating up one of my coaches, I'm gonna be like,
Something good.
I wonder what happened with Kenny Monday. Because he
wonder about
left the Black Zillions.
Yep.
I mean, you
got
can't get a
fired,
better
didn't he?
wrestling coach than that guy. They fired him.
With this fight, this is the kind of pressure we were talking about, Joe, that you don't see a whole lot in MMA.
Yeah.
He's got really good positioning, really good pressure.
He looked to the referee. That shit is getting annoying. That looking to the referee.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, hit him.
He's out.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
The guy's in a guillotine, you're saying he's out, and they stop the fight, and he's awake.
That's awful.
Oh.
Do you remember that Yoshida Hoist Gracie fight where he pretended that Hoist was out?
Yep.
And Hoist was fine.
Mac Danzig versus who got him in the guillotine? Matt Wyman, and said he's
that's
out, and he wasn't out.
That's
Let him up. He stood up.
That's right. Yep. He wasn't out at all.
Yep. I mean,
yeah. But that's
I-
easy to tell, though. If you're a grappler, that's
Yeah.
easy to tell if a guy's out. That's unexcusable.
Yeah, that's an uneducated judge.
Yeah.
Or, referee.
KOs are weird. Like earlier today,
Uh-oh.
no.
on the
That was a nice arm trap. I love seeing good jiu-jitsu in MMA. I really
Yeah.
do.
Johnny
He's
Bedford
got
got
so
good
pretty.
fucking heavy hips, man.
Johnny Bedford got fucked over earlier today for that. He got nailed with a punch, went down, and he got rocked.
Yeah.
But the referee stopped the fight immediately. And he got up like, "What the fuck?" screaming and yelling. This is bullshit. Clearly not wobbly.
Don't
Clearly,
push him.
Yeah, don't touch him.
Don't touch the ref. You
referee.
can yell. Don't push.
And we're talking. The reason why we're saying that is fucking Jason High, man. A little
Yeah,
baby
done.
push. It was nothing. Freaking out that the fight got stopped. He freaks out in the moment. Touches the referee. Banned for life from the UFC and suspended for a year, which I disagree with. I think
I
if
didn't
he
see it,
hit
but-
the referee, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Do you think if Ronda Rousey pushed the referee, they would have that same reaction?
That's
What if Ronda Rousey lost? Okay. What if let's say some crazy shit happened?
Yeah.
Some Liz Carmouche style. Remember when Liz had Ronda's back? What if someone sinks that in and really fucking locks it up and clamps it down and Ronda goes out or Ronda taps, or the referee thinks that Ronda's gonna tap and the referee stops the fight and then Ronda fucking freaks out and pushes the referee? What would happen? Would it be the same because it's a woman doing it? Would it be? I mean, Jason High didn't hurt anybody. It
has nothing to do with being a woman. It has to
I
do
agree.
with-
I see the point of basically zero tolerance. Don't push. Don't touch the referee.
Yes,
I get.
I totally do too.
But I totally get your point as to if Ronda did that, would they have the same reaction?
Fine him.
Oh, no.
Fine him. Fine him $1,000. Okay, that sounds right to me. I think it's.
They took 1,900 and a year. They took 10%.
Well, the 10%
Yeah.
is a good amount. That's good. Don't do that. Don't touch the referee. Now you know. The referee fucked up, yes, but it was pretty goddamn close. You got hurt.
Yeah.
He got hurt pretty bad. Don't touch the referee. But god damn it, you don't. I think Jason High's a good guy. I know him. I've talked to him. I think he's a good guy. I like the way he fights. He's a good fighter. It sucks to me to see a guy like that get banned, but I see it from their point of view. You got to set a zero tolerance policy to any shenanigans. That's why. I mean, look at Semtex. Paul Daly's a
Yeah.
fucking bad motherfucker. Like one of the best at 170. One of the most exciting guys to watch.
That's for sure.
Took a fucking sucker punch at Josh Koscheck, and he's been gone ever since.
And Dan
doesn't want a
Murgliata
sucker punch
picked
Josh?
him up like a toy, dude.
Murgliata's
I'll
huge.
never forget that. Not like picked him up like you'd pick up a dog that
Yeah.
bit you like a pug and went, God damn it, and like shook him.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Oh my god.
Murgliata's a
I've been
big,
picked up
big
by
Murgliata's
boy.
a giant,
He's
man.
a big boy and a very nice guy too.
Oh, he's a great guy.
I like Dan Murgliata used to get a hard time from a lot of people because he was one of the original referees for Elite XC. And Elite XC had some dog shit rules.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to stand people up after 15 seconds. Like Jake Shields caught Semtex in Elite XC with an armbar. And it was like he was running to get that armbar before they stood him up. If you were a grappler in Elite XC,
Oh, you were
boy,
screwed.
you were in a fucking bad place. You were in a big country. Had Andre Arlovsky on the ground, inside control, double wrist lock, working the Kimura, and they stand him up. And you're like, what?
I remember that.
Fucking side control with a Kimura? Stand him up. Stand him up. That fat fuck. Who was that fucking guy, that promoter? That sloppy jello face motherfucker?
Yeah, God, why can't I,
Whatever.
it's
Don't
the
even
boxing
say his
promoters,
name.
yeah.
He's like fucking, he's Candyman. He'll
Yeah.
show up.
I can't think of his name.
Oh, that fucking gross person. Those guys ruined MMA for a while, and
Yeah.
they got on CBS with that shit.
It's amazing how far they got with it when you think about it.
So far as idiots. So far. Meanwhile, we're watching an awesome fight.
Hester's coming back in the second round.
Yeah, they're in the second round, and Braga extended a lot of energy trying to get Hester to the ground and try to submit him, but couldn't submit him. And now Hester stuffs that takedown super easy.
It's a big athletic person.
Yeah, man.
Look,
Jesus.
look at this.
Nice.
Hester takes him down. Beautiful.
I don't we'll see how
It's not. It seems like
how this goes.
probably a bad idea. Look at that deep half, both legs
Yep.
locked up. That's
And
beautiful.
sweep.
That's
Jesus.
a beautiful sweep.
That's nice.
Oh my god, I love that. Both legs locked up in the deep half. You're in fucking trouble, man. You got to explode to get out of that. Look at this. Neto's
Yeah.
full mount now. That was gorgeous.
I love seeing shit like that. I really do.
I don't see enough of it.
You don't?
I mean, you got like Jacare, Damian Maya, this guy. You've got like a few world-class guys.
Bibiano Fernandez is one of the best,
Yeah,
I think.
for sure. Few world-class guys. But man, Hester has got to be bummed out. Now he's all gift wrapped. That's a sucky spot. And he's doing that thing where you stick your thumb inside the glove. Ooh,
Yep.
right in front of everybody.
We can all we can see you, right?
He was barely doing it, though,
Yeah.
in his defense. But you can use your own gloves. You know, who'd use his own glove? Josh Thompson does that real well.
Yeah.
He'll get like a rear naked or a guillotine and get his hands deep in his own glove. That's nice. That's a nice grip. And I guess at least you used to be, allowed to do that with your gloves. But you can't do it with your opponent's gloves. Just sort of like
You can grab your
own
shorts, but you can't grab the other guy's shorts.
to
Yeah.
protect you, like a Kimura. Like,
Guy Mescatito, he did that for like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
For the old school fans.
old
I love you.
school, son. I was there for the original Guy Metzger-Tito fight where Guy Metzger was getting fucked up.
Getting hammered.
And then they checked him for cuts. They go back in. Tito shoots, and Guy caught him in a guillotine.
I had a fight last season where a guy was back mounted, threw a headbutt backwards.
I saw that
lost
shit.
a point, and they stood him up.
Ridiculous.
I went, "What the fuck is this?"
Ridiculous, and I was so glad that you did that.
Oh
dude.
my god! I was like, I would headbutt a dude to get
Yeah,
out of that.
yeah.
Oh, take a point away. At least I'm not rear naked choke.
I'm so happy
Oh, I
that,
was furious,
that you do
man.
commentary like that. That you
Oh.
call guys out on that, and you don't just let that shit go. I love that you do that.
Fuck, I can't,
You
man.
Well, of course you can't. Look at this.
can't.
Meanwhile, Neto on top in half guard. Joe Riggs, Matt Hughes in half guard. You can
Yep.
get this. He let it go, though. He decided to let it go. Oh, that was the end of the round.
Because he knows how much to commit to it, and a lot of guys don't.
Yeah.
Because Kimura from half guard's tough. It's tough, especially the guy's got a good half guard.
Unless you're
It's
like a
knowing
Matt
where to
Hughes
put
type
it.
character, one of those big country strong motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know, Matt Hughes could just yank that shit off your body.
But it's also a hip thing. You have to know how high you have to be up with your hips.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys just don't know. You know?
Yep. Yeah. It's interesting the level of jiu-jitsu, but it's also interesting the level of striking in MMA. The problem with MMA is that there's so much to learn. If you're an athlete and you're getting into MMA, see like a lot of these guys like maybe in your 30s
Yeah.
getting into MMA, god damn, there's a learning curve. There's so much to learn. There's so much to this sport that you're seeing sort of like you don't see world-class anything in most fighters. You see they're really good at a couple of things, but when you see a guy who's world-class, like if Artem Levin started fighting in MMA,
Right.
the big thing would be talking about this guy striking for sure, because he's world-class as a kickboxer. And if you compare his striking to most guys in MMA, outside of the guys who really stand out, you go, well, that's just that's what it really should look like.
Yeah. But for every fighter of a particular discipline that goes into MMA with a ton of credentials, who you go, oh, it's a blue chip, this guy's got to do well, I can point out somebody who, same thing, tanked.
That's true.
You just can't tell anymore.
Can't tell.
Where guys come in with a background in something, you think, man, this guy's got to be a beast,
Yep.
and it just doesn't work out,
And here they are, third round. Hester probably down 2 rounds. If you, we really shouldn't be scoring it here because we're not really paying attention.
Oh,
to
nice
score,
straight
but
ones.
Hester's going after him here. Big shot to the body. And Neto got tagged. Oh, Hester's tagging him.
Oh,
he slipped.
my
Oh,
God.
no. He slipped and wound
Exactly
up on
where
his
you don't wanna
back.
be.
That's so crazy. He
But
was fucking him up.
Just
too.
what we were talking about. You're athletic, you're physical,
Yep.
you're powerful, but you don't have your feet under you, it's not going to help you.
Yeah, and all he's doing on the bottom is surviving. I mean, he's not getting up to his feet. He's not escaping. He's not. I mean, he got him down once with that beautiful hip toss, but then what happened?
Immediately
He
got
deep
swept.
half swept. That's a beautiful deep half sweep too. I want to
Yeah.
see that more often. It's probably pretty tough to get both legs trapped in there like that. It's one of those weird situations like when Benavidez fought Tim Elliott and had both his arms trap in and got the
with his
guillotine, so he had to tap with his feet. That was crazy. Look at this beautiful transition to the mount. Neto's just so slick.
That sucks when someone does that to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen that sort of that position where a guy's both arms are trapped and he's getting guillotined. Neto's got a sick mount.
It happens. it can happen a lot when guys go underneath both legs for the pass, and you, especially with the gi, with that choke over through the front. Kron Gracie does that all the time.
Yeah,
that's
with the
a pain.
The gi is a whole new world.
Jeff Glover likes that too. He'll sit back when you try and pass underneath his legs. He'll sit back and guillotine you. He'll hop right over your back. But that's his thing. You don't see it a lot in MMA.
He's a master. He really is. Glover is a master.
Yeah,
That kid's a beast.
So good at jiu-jitsu. He's doing something that Mitch Clark just started doing. That he'll like let you pass into a darce.
Yeah.
Glover was like one of the first guys I ever saw do that. And now Mitch Clark was the first guy to ever pull that off in the UFC on Al Iaquinta.
Yeah.
Beautiful submission. Like let go and he's passing. As he's passing, he thinks he's getting side control and falls right into a locked up darce. You got to have a lot of confidence in your darce to pull that off, though.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got to be strong. You got to have long, like good,
strong
arms.
You got to know that shit's money. Well, Clint tagged him. Hester had him really badly hurt at the beginning of this round, man. And now he's on top in the guard. He might be able to finish this fight if he could tag this dude a few times.
I mean, he doesn't seem like with that kind of frame, he hasn't gassed.
Yeah.
That bad,
Hey, he's done well.
Well, he's real cognizant about pacing himself. He actually talked about it recently. That there was a time where he was fighting and he was tagging a guy, and I was saying he'd probably be best served to back off right now and not gas out, because if a guy's still there and you unload on him, and so he he backed off, and then he thanked me after the fight. He's like, "That was good advice, man." He's on top, and he's fucking Neto up. Oh, big elbow.
Dave Jansen guillotined a guy one time at M1 because I told him to. I didn't tell him to. I just said it's a good position for a guillotine. He goes, I heard you went for the guillotine and got it.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
It's a weird thing. Like sometimes guys will be right in front of me, and I'll say what he's got to do to pass this, what he's got to do to get out, and you'll see the guy doing it. You're kind of coaching them, but you kind of have to. Just because they're in front of you, you still have to say.
Can't stop talking.
Yeah,
you
still have to say what should be done.
Next time I pick somebody up, I'm gonna throw him over by
Bring
you.
him over by me,
Just tell me what to do.
I'll help you out if I know. Sometimes I'm baffled. What do you think about having big, crazy dreadlocks like that? That would make it harder to get out of shit, wouldn't it?
A lot harder.
I imagine.
I mean, it looks sexy as fuck, Clint. But goddamn, son.
You're also blind to dude if he's in your guard and moving his head around the whole time.
Well, I always thought that about
Shake
Clay.
them dreads.
Seriously.
Clay can't see shit.
Got the Predator going on.
Yeah. I mean, Guida's got the craziest hair ever.
Yeah.
Fighting with that hair. And the other thing is, if you get hit, it goes flying through the air. And it makes it look like you got hit a lot harder than you did.
Ben Henderson's always fucking with his hair every time he fights.
Gotta look good, man.
How about the fact that the dude used to fight with a toothpick in his mouth?
That is ridiculous.
Fought championship level fights with a fucking toothpick in his mouth. Is he going to get to take him down?
Now, did they officially catch that, or he just stopped doing it?
I caught it.
I know they caught it, but did they go cut that shit out?
Yes,
you can die.
They check his mouth now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they like alerted him in no uncertain terms. Like, bro, you can't do that.
You can't have that in your mouth.
Crazy fuck. He's so crazy. Guy's fighting world champions. He's got a fucking toothpick in his mouth. I don't know where he was sticking that thing.
Probably in the side of his tooth, his mouthpiece.
I guess.
I think.
Yeah, but it's lower. He's
he
having
has
the
it
lower
here?
part of his mouth.
Dude, if that goes in your throat, you're done in the middle of a fight.
It could too.
Oh, easily.
You can get rocked. Everybody gets rocked.
Gotta look smooth, man.
You know? I mean, so arguably that was in his face, in his mouth when he got Showtime kicked. When Anthony Pettis leaping kicked him in the face and he went flying, he had a toothpick in his mouth. I think. I mean, I don't know.
Or he swallowed it.
I know he did once, man. And the reason why I know he did is because the fight was over. I was watching him, and then all of a sudden I watched him pull a toothpick out of his mouth. Like, I saw the fight being over.
Diaz fight. The Diaz fight, I believe. Because that's where I remember you talking about it.
I believe it was the Diaz fight.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, though. But whatever it was, he had a toothpick in his mouth. And I go, where'd you get that toothpick? Like, I asked him in the post-fight interview, like, where'd you get that toothpick? Like, you had that toothpick in your mouth. Like, no. And then I talked to John Crouch about it. And he's like, yeah, I can't get him to stop doing that. Like, you can't get him to stop fighting with a fucking toothpick in his mouth?
Of all the shit you can get him to do in training, you can't go, don't do this life-threatening shit.
You got to pick your battles.
Oh, my God.
Dude's in great shape. He doesn't drink, doesn't party. He's an athlete. He's smart. He does everything right. You know? But it comes to that, nope. I'm going to fight with a toothpick on my mouth. Oh, go ahead.
Fine.
Wait, what can you say?
All right, champ. You got the belt. I guess you can do that.
Yeah, fuck, man. How good is goddamn Anthony Pettis?
Yeah.
Fuck, that guy's good.
Kid's a stud, man.
Kickboxing is awesome.
His kicking is Duke Rufus is on the podcast last week, and he showed me a kickboxing bout or an MMA bout where he got taken down, he got slammed, his shoulder popped out of place. I mean, his shoulder was fucked up. He got stood back up. You could see his shoulder was fucked. He's moving away from the guy. Boom! Lands a high kick. Knocks the guy out with a fucked up shoulder. I mean, his shoulder's like hanging off of his body. And he landed a beautiful, picture-perfect, wrap-around left high kick. Just like he landed on Lozon.
What I don't want to see, honestly, what concerns me is ring rust being a huge factor in his career.
Yeah,
if
with all the
injuries just
surgeries.
keep him out so much. I hate seeing guys like that are so talented, but I don't want to say fragile, but injury prone, however you want to put it, where they don't get that rhythm they need.
I call myself.
Wow,
fragile
Clint
all
Hester
the
got
time.
it, man. Clint Hester won. Interesting.
Yeah, he did.
Very interesting.
I don't think I agree with that, but
Yeah.
Well, neither does Neto. He looks pretty upset.
Yeah,
We'd have
I
to
thought he
see
took
it.
the first two.
Well,
but-
it looked like the third round he won. I mean,
Yeah,
he was
for sure.
beating him up in the third round. In the beginning, took him to the ground. He got mounted, but then he got on top, wound up in his guard.
yeah, I
That
thought
was a
Neto.
nice
I thought
switch
Neto won the
guard.
first 2 rounds, but I guess not.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Who knows what the fuck the judges are saying? That was a beautiful takedown, but
Beautiful.
show the deep half, bitch.
That was a beautiful sweep.
Show the sweep. It's funny how after fights they're only showing like the guy who won.
They make it look like a blowout. I had to talk to my edit, the
yeah.
people who cut him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any input in that. I'll go to the
Yes.
truck and go, guys, you make it look like a blowout. Like,
Well,
you give me a close fight, and the replays are one dude beating the other dude. I go, you make it look like, stop doing that.
The
And they
problem
did,
with the UFC
but-
is they're doing this move of the fight thing. So they're not calling it like a replay. They're calling it the move of the fight. But the fight, like that fight especially, that was a very close fight.
Yeah.
It was a good fight. So you got to show both sides. And when you have something as beautiful as that sweep, show that shit. Michael Pena in the building. He's an actor on End of Watch. Do you know what End of Watch is?
Yeah, the movie, End of Watch.
with
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
What, I don't know
And
what that
Pena,
is.
he's funny in everything he does.
It's a cop movie, but like a serious cop movie where they
It was
that
like
a new
Training
one?
Day, like a Training Day type
It's
movie.
pretty recent,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty recent.
A couple years.
You know what's going on. They're partners, and someone dies, or they both die. Or
No gay cowboy stuff?
no.
Whenever I see Jake
know.
Gyllenhaal, I don't know how to say his name.
That's where your brain
Gyllenhaal,
goes, huh?
That's where it goes.
Like my dad
Dude.
always said, you suck one dick, you're a cocksucker for the rest of your life.
I don't think your dad's the
Your
only guy
dad
who
is-
said that.
You can build a million bridges in your lifetime and never be a bridge builder.
Life lessons.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
My
some
dad's a
certain
good man.
things you want to avoid, and gay cowboy movies are one of them. But that's a funny. You ever see
Both
that
guys
movie?
recovered pretty well, man.
I-
Both guys are.
One
I mean,
guy
one's
died of a
dead,
drug
you know. But
overdose.
let's look
The other
past
one we're
that.
making fun of. So
I got
We can make
tricked
fun of
into
him all he
seeing that
wants.
movie.
He's doing all right.
Well, I wouldn't say I got tricked into it. My friend's like, "Hey, you want to go see a movie about gay cowboys?" And this is when I was on drugs. And
I was about
like,
to
and
say,
I was like,
is
"Yeah,
there-
that sounds hilarious. That sounds so funny." We got there, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
You were looking for like a Will Ferrell
I'm
movie
like,
or
this
some
is
shit.
a movie about gay cowboys.
Yeah, it's
but I was
literally
high,
like-
so I watched the whole thing. It was great.
I enjoyed that movie tremendously.
I don't
For all
think
the
it was,
wrong reasons.
It wasn't as good as people made it out to be.
It was a comedy to me. I don't know what everybody else saw.
Spitting on his hand.
Yeah, when he
Dude.
shoved his dick in with one stroke like that, I was like, "What? You tell me what's going on here?" Or that
You gotta
could
take the
spit
pussy, man.
All
on
right,
a hand.
I want. All right, if anybody's listening to this, they can answer this question for me because I want to play like Ask a Gay Dude at some point. Okay, seriously, and this is in all seriousness.
They're gonna lie to you,
I know they lie to me, but having sex with a chick you just met
right?
can be a little awkward. You don't know what she likes. You know what you like. You know, it's can be a little awkward. A dude, we got to go. So are you? Am I? Are you? Am I? Because I don't. Are you? Like,
Oh, like,
how
who's
do you
the
make
top,
that
who's the
decision
bottom?
in like in a club in 15 seconds? Like,
Where there's-
I'm just curious. Like, it's awkward enough to have sex with, and there's yeah.
I don't know.
Do they fuck every 15 seconds?
yeah,
I mean, that's all
whatever.
it takes.
Most likely.
But to go like, so are you? Because I don't. Are you? Or because
Well, I
in the
have-
movie they decide pretty quick.
I have friends
Like,
that are
somebody-
gay that are
Yeah,
a
you got to ask
couple.
one and just go. How do?
It's pretty obvious when you look at
But
the
if you don't
dynamic.
know
Yeah.
them, if you just met them and it's like we have all taken a chick home that we didn't know and just went, oh well. But if it's a
Not
dude,
me,
you have
bro.
to decide at some point.
Yeah, I think that they know. I think
You just
it's
know. It's
yeah,
just-
one guy is the wife and one guy's the husband.
Just instantly, you know, as soon as you hit on them.
Yes.
I swear,
yeah,
man.
they know. They one
just
guy's
instantly
a
know.
top.
I've asked a gay friend some questions just about how you just gotta breathe.
That's what he said.
Thanks.
You gotta
Thanks.
I
breathe.
imagine.
Thanks.
Okay, breathe.
Breathe. Okay,
That's what everybody says about everything.
Very sound advice.
Cryo chamber? Breathe.
Breathe.
Just breathe. Yoga? Just breathe.
Yeah, the cryo chamber is supposed to be a motherfucker. I got to do that.
I do
In
it every
between
day.
rounds,
I
breathe.
do it every day. Wow. How far away is it from your house?
It's in between my strength conditioning gym and my real gym.
Do you do
Or my
it
regular
post-workout or pre?
gym. I do it 10 o'clock every day, so sometimes I work out before it, and sometimes I don't work out, I just go straight there.
Is there any restrictions on for folks who don't know what the cryo chamber is? Explain what
More
that
is
shit
better to me, so I just do it every day.
This is,
But yeah, it's you get into a little pod cylinder thing. It opens up. You get in. They raise the floor up so your head's above the top. They pump in liquid nitrogen, and liquid nitrogen hits oxygen. It turns into a gas. Science class, and then it's heavier, so it sits in there and it gets down to minus 256 usually Fahrenheit. I set the record at our place for 263.
oh my God. You wanted more?
What?
You wanted it colder?
She just does it.
So what's between you and...
she's like, you can take it. I'm gonna try something, and I'm like, what?
I'm going to try something on you.
Yeah.
250 degrees below zero is
just
not
isn't
enough.
quite doing it. So...
I recommend it for everybody. It's probably the singular best thing I've ever done.
Wow. In what way?
Recovery.
Yeah, we got it.
recovery at least. Sorry.
But what does it do that's so awesome? Like, give me
You just feel better. Things like the swelling goes down of everything. Bruising goes away. You get out, and you're only in there for 3 minutes. I mean, I last 3 minutes, but most people last a minute or two.
wow.
I just...
You just got it out.
Yeah, just because there's something wrong.
And then once you get, there's definitely something wrong with you.
Yeah, seriously.
And then once you get out, it's just like all the blood flushes to your skin.
a rush of blood, and I want to go,
This is a new thing too, right? They've only been doing it for the last
It's been in Europe
decade
for
or so.
decades.
Oh, really?
Everything's been in Europe for so much longer.
And the U.S. has had it for 5 years or something like that.
Oh no, kidding.
I mean, it's pretty awesome. I think that people, and I took my daughter into it. She's 2.5. Because
She's sitting there.
She did it?
She has juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. So that's what it was built for, was people with RA.
Wow.
And so I brought her in there, and before I'm like, me and Brittany went in there, and I showed her pictures, and I said, it gets really cold. I said, you want to get cold? And she's like, no. She's like, looked at me like, are you stupid? And I'm like, okay. And I kind of played it off, and I brought her with me, and then she was in there for maybe 10 seconds. I want to climb out the top, so I
Did it help her?
she's getting better. She's only done it that one time. I mean, if I wasn't in camp, I would take her more. But my day is so scheduled that
Right.
I don't have time to have a baby with me.
Right. Yeah. I could only
2.5
imagine.
year old.
I can only imagine.
She has a lot of energy, and she's really smart. And everyone says their kids are smart, but she's pretty advanced, and it's hard, man.
Yeah, we were talking about
It must be.
diet and things along those lines. Like, you have
Yeah.
to be very careful with her diet.
She's gluten free. I still give her some. I mean, she doesn't drink milk, but she'll have dairy through cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Red meat a little bit. That's why a big reason why I want to get into hunting, because the meat is so nutritious.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I have so many friends that hunt. I mean, all my friends that play pro baseball hunt. A lot of my fighter friends hunt. Just friends in general. So
Yeah, if you're gonna get some elk or some moose, it's some of the most nutritious meat you could give anybody.
yeah, my stepdad's a world-renowned hunter and tracker up in Alaska, or used to be in Alaska. Now he's with my mom in Northern California, and he's Jim Harrower. He's 80 years old and like ex-CIA Freemason, practicing dentist still.
Just a murderer, animals, people, whatever.
I got a polar bear rug. He has one for me. I mean,
a polar bear rug.
he's fucking huge. He's
And
an
by the
old
way, if
bodybuilder,
anybody's
man.
freaking out right now, polar bears are not endangered.
No,
Everyone's
and
like,
this,
they're
he's
endangered.
80 years old, so
Yeah.
he killed stuff a long time ago, and he's just he doesn't kill anymore. I'm trying to talk him into taking me to Alaska one last time.
Have you seen that show, The Hunt?
No.
It's a new show that James Hetfield from Metallica
Yeah.
is the
I watch Bubble
commentator
Guppies and
on.
fucking Disney shit.
I hear you. I do too. Miho, Kylan.
Yes.
James Hetfield is
Yeah.
the commentator or the narrator, and they go to Kodiak Island, where the biggest grizzly bears in the world live, biggest brown bears in the world.
Yeah.
And these bears are 10 feet fucking tall. And these guys are hunting these 10-foot tall bears.
That's the kind of skin I have.
Yeah,
but
people
the white
are
ones.
freaking out about Hetfield being a part of this. They wanted to remove him from the Glastonbury Music Festival, and everybody's angry at him. Well, if you love bears, you got to kill the big boars, because
Yeah.
if you don't kill the big boars, they eat babies. Like, people who
Yeah.
don't understand bears or are freaking out about that show, like, they need to kill bears to keep the population healthy.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're gonna fuck each other up.
The first conservationists were hunters because they were out there in the
Yeah.
wilderness going, this livestock's disappearing. They knew they were out in the wild doing it. Teddy Roosevelt was an avid hunter, and started the park system. You know, people don't understand that. It's just
there's more deer today than when Columbus landed in America, and that's because of hunters and
Yeah.
conservationists. And the money for conservation all comes from hunting licenses.
I need to kill them and eat them. It's
They're
simple.
delicious. I'll take you with me.
delicious.
We'll go, man.
Let's do it. I wanna-
After you get out of camp, I'll bring you, me, and Steve Ranella. Ranella and I have been talking about doing that with.
I have a man crush on him.
I do too.
He's awesome.
He's sweetie. He's Hakron Diaz right now
Yep.
is about to fight
He's a
Ricardo the Bully Lamas in a really interesting fight. Diaz is a bad motherfucker on the ground.
He's got some
Marlon
bad-
Sandro
Marlon
in the
Sandro
corner.
right there,
Yeah.
excellent Bellator fighter,
bad
And that's,
motherfuckers in
formerly
his
known as
corner.
Bellator,
Yep.
soon to be Spike MMA if they're smart.
We will see.
Just call it MMA.
Change is coming.
Boxing. I mean, boxing doesn't have the battlers. It's the Battlers boxing series. What is it? It's boxing. Just call it fucking boxing. You know?
Good point.
I just
Touche.
think
Well played.
It's mixed martial arts. Everybody knows what it is. All right, here's the guy. That's the same referee earlier that
Kerry Hatley.
that fucked up.
Derp.
He was the guy who called it.
Hey.
All right, Ricardo Lamas is just about to fight, and if you're syncing this up at home, we'll give you the clock. It starts now. Okay, they just touched gloves just now. All right, here we go. And Lamas just removed from his fight with Jose Aldo, where he was winning the 5th round, had Aldo down.
Guess who moves just like Aldo?
Hakron Diaz.
Same build.
Yeah, real
Same.
similar. Real similar.
Diaz, great submission guy. 9
Yeah.
career submissions, I think, if I remember
Yeah.
it correctly.
Very good on the ground, and also, like, a lot like Aldo, is very competent standing up. And not quite as good, but still very competent. He's no joke. Like, it's no picnic standing up with this guy. Nice overhand right. Aldo's got, like, one of the best left hook right leg kicks in the business. You know, they yell it out, do the Dutchie, and he throws that Holland combination, man. That left hook to the body, right leg kick. Pop-hack!
Oh man, I remember when he came out to I'm gonna run this town tonight.
When he fought Faber?
in Sacramento, and I
Yep.
was just like, oh, you're awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the nastiest leg kick
Oh
demonstrations
my God, that was
I've
brutal.
ever seen. It was horrific. And seeing his legs on Instagram after the fight,
Oh,
where
man.
Uriah kept taking pictures of his leg, and it was blown up to literally twice the size.
I saw him a month later, and it was still not good. I was like, bro, you all right?
Randy Couture told me that it took him 6 months to recover from the Pedro Hizzo fight.
Yeah.
That's what was so hard
He
to
was
talk him
brutalized.
into that second fight.
Yeah.
In the first fight, most people who watched thought that Pedro won.
I thought he did.
Yeah, a lot of people thought he did. This is old school. And then Randy came back and beat the fuck out of Pedro Hizzo in the second fight, thinking about those leg kicks. It's like, not today, son.
Hizzo had a tendency to start slow, and that cost him.
You see those guys like him and Yurts kick a bag.
Oh,
I used to go over to Marco's a little bit, Huas, and
Oh,
seeing
my
those
God.
giant people kick bags and
Yeah.
stuff. Oh,
Oh.
my God.
oh my God. I've never seen anybody kick anything harder than I've seen Pedro Hizzo kick people.
Yeah.
He kicked Rico Rodriguez once in their fight. They had the most boring fight ever in the UFC.
it was awful.
He kicked him once. So whack! And Rico was like, oh, fuck all this.
Fuck this shit.
Fuck all this.
Nothing. I don't think anything but a body shot and a leg kick. I've seen fighters go, "Fuck this, I'm
Yeah.
out." I mean, just mentally check out completely of a fight from those two things.
Rico was in full defense mode from then on. And just said, you know what? No one's knocking me the fuck out. You're not breaking my leg. So let's just do what we got to do here. And I'll collect my last Zuffa paycheck.
He made the agreement. I won't try to win. You don't try to hurt me.
Yeah.
And you can see when a fighter does that. Like, okay,
Yep.
all right, I won't try and beat you if you will let me have my legs.
There is a agreement.
They
that
do
goes
it all
on
the time.
sometimes.
They do, and you see it in their eyes, man.
Yep.
We see it all the time.
Yeah.
I will stop fighting if you won't hurt me.
It's a fascinating moment when you see a guy break.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating, and sometimes guys will break and then rebound and come back, and break and rebound and come back. That's where things get really interesting.
The worst I think I've ever seen in between rounds was Dan Hornbuckle against Ben Askren.
Whoa, that was a good
Dan
one. Yeah.
like sat in that corner like, and he was at a black belt in intensity,
Yeah.
and everybody knew how good Dan Hornbuckle was, and he came back to that and sat in his corner with his head down and just didn't look like the same dude after one round of getting tossed around.
He just knew he was never going to catch up. When you lock up with a guy like Askren and you
It's
get
crazy.
tossed all over the place, and every time you're trying to counter what he's doing, he's already countering your counter.
Yeah.
He's
Way
one
ahead
step
of you.
ahead of you
And just
every
and
time.
holding you down the whole time.
Manhandling you. And by the way, he looks like he smokes pot all day and eats Cheetos.
Dude.
I mean, he does.
Looks like that guy works at the 7-Eleven, bro, and he's kicking my ass.
Just kicking world-class athletes' asses. He doesn't look like Kevin Randleman. You know, if he looked like Tyron Woodley, you would understand it. Like, I can't fuck with this guy. But no, he looks like a silly stoner, and he's just ragged on.
Fedor had a little of that. You're like, bro, you do not look like you fight. And
but people forget, man.
Dudes.
The early days, Fedor was big.
Yeah, he was big.
When he was doing a lot of weightlifting, and remember that picture of him standing around with a bunch of kettlebells? He's fucking big. I mean, he's got some body fat on him. He always had body fat on him, but he was fucking big. I went back and watched the Fujita fight again the other day.
Yeah.
He was big. He was way bigger than he was when he fought Dan Henderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time he fought Dan Henderson, he kind of already checked out. He was no more weights.
Oh, nice left hook.
Hakron Diaz and Ricardo Lamas are going at it here. Diaz keeps landing that overhand right.
That is a fight that a punch really kind of funny. That big loopy overhand you almost never see it in boxing. You see it constantly in MMA.
Yeah, because of those little gloves.
Little gloves that can fit.
It always lands.
Why it's so interesting when you watch the differences in the way guys cover up, like in Glory or in K1, where so many guys do that classic Dutch, hold their hands up high, guard, like, you know, up to the eyebrows. Ooh, hard leg kick at the bell. Diaz this is a tough fight for Ricardo Lamas, because Lamas is coming off a title fight, would love to prove that he's still a top guy. Not a lot to gain in this fight because Hakron Diaz is not a big name, but he's a bad motherfucker.
Diaz also Novignon, same team. Don't think they didn't talk about here's what I did.
Oh, of course.
You know? This is how you beat this guy.
Yeah, interesting that they all move the same too.
Yeah,
like you know, you see that in Barao too. Very similar in their movements.
It's the defensive, like the way they let loose a little different, but it's like the defense is always the same, just very tight and it's pretty.
That's why I was so amazed at TJ Dillashaw. So amazed.
Yeah,
I never seen a guy rise to the moment like that good.
That was incredible.
That was incredible. It was one of the like I thought. Well, he's going to make a good fight out of it. It's really interesting. Maybe he can win. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But you're dealing with a guy in Renan Barao who's undefeated for 9 years, 30 fucking fights without a loss. And meanwhile, TJ just ran him over.
Yeah,
ran him over.
After that when he dropped him, that was just
he was out of it.
That was it.
He went back in the corner. He had no idea what was going on. When he was going into the 4th round, he asked him if he was winning the fight. He had no idea what was going on.
That is one of the scariest things to see, as not just in MMA, but you know, football or whatever. If when you see someone's brain just get rewired, and you go, they're asking where they are, they're asking what round it is, they just don't know what's going on. Man, that happens quickly, and guys are on autopilot for. I've had people ask me, what happened in the fight?
Yeah,
they fought 5 rounds, and they're going, what happened?
You know what's scarier than that?
Scary to look at.
That's scary, but that's post-fight. What's scarier than that is a dude who's not even fighting, who tells you the same story 3 times in 10 minutes. And you go, oh, no. Oh, no. Like, I used to know you before you used to do this, and now you're doing this. Now you don't remember saying what you just said 5 minutes ago. You're saying it again. So Ricardo Lamas has Diaz's back here. That's kind of interesting, and he's trying to take him down. Wow, bold Ricardo Lamas. Trying to prove a point. Good knees, though. He's landed some good knees. He's a good wrestler, Lamas.
Yeah, he is.
He's a fucking great ground and pound guy, man. His ground and pound's nasty, but this position is you're in a tricky spot here.
The other way to look at it, though, is he not liking what he's seeing on the feet?
Exactly.
He had a lot of those right hands.
And that leg kick at the bell, that was a hard leg kick.
Yeah, that was a good one. Spun him around. When a guy does something different, you also go, well, what motivated him to do that? If we were going great on the feet, he wouldn't be doing that.
Yep, very good point. And then gets away. So Diaz gets away, without a doubt. He's looking for that kick. It's interesting, too, because the big kick of Aldo was something that Lamas really worried about going into that fight. Or I shouldn't say worried. He knew that it was there was another one.
He knew it was coming.
Knew it was coming, but did a really good job in defending. I mean, he was fine in the 5th round. I mean, obviously he got tagged a bunch of times, but you saw no noticeable limping. He wasn't noticeably diminished because of it.
Yeah.
But here he's just taking a few in this 1st round, and in the 2nd, he doesn't want none of those leg kicks.
And what's funny is we were talking a little bit about cornering, and if a guy's getting kicked in the leg, and the corner goes, check the kicks. Checking, if you haven't trained it, it doesn't come fucking naturally. You don't learn how to check in the middle of a fight.
No.
You know, where they go, you know, people ask me, "Oh, should he start checking those kicks?" I'm like, if he hasn't been doing it in training, it's not going to work now. It's really counterintuitive to like turn your shin toward a guy who's kicking you.
Yeah, it's never going to happen. You're going to think about it, and then it'll be too late.
It'll be too late, man. It's very tough to do.
It's like slip the punches. If you don't know how to slip punches,
if you haven't been slipping punches, yeah, it's not like keep your hands up. Like anybody.
Oh, tagged him. Oh, vicious left hook too.
Goddamn, Lamas.
Oh man, Lamas is still in it.
Lamas is an animal.
That was a nice combination.
Yeah, he was in trouble there. The kid has tremendous resolve, tremendous mental resolve. Look at this. Beautiful takedown. And Diaz a little tired, takes a big deep breath right there, thinking about that.
Dude, that can be a little disheartening, hitting somebody with a punch like that and they come right back at you.
Hit him
that
with
sucks.
Three clean ones. 3 clean ones. Do you think there's too many fighters in MMA right now for the amount of fights that are available?
Too many fighters?
Too many. You know, like people are talking about the UFC has 500 fighters. I don't know how many Bellator has, but they just cut. You guys,
they just cut a bunch. They cut a bunch. They cut a bunch.
100 fighters.
Holy shit! I didn't know that. I thought it was like 19 or 20.
No, Scott Coker just clean shop.
I think Scott's gonna run that ship.
Very smart guy.
Very different.
Very good guy.
A lot of changes.
Really like universally liked.
Yeah.
Which is
unheard of in the fight world.
Hard.
Unheard of in the fight world.
So
Can you say universally liked with Dana White? I like Dana. I like him a lot. He's one of my good friends. I love the guy. But shit. I mean, you can go on the underground any day. Well, you can find threads about anybody.
Yeah.
Any hate threads on the underground.
But I get hate mail all the time.
Oh, mine are that I'm
a lot of love. A lot of love. I love the underground. And you know, people like got upset with me this week because I was saying like there's too many douchebags online, and I've been avoiding going to forums. Like I get a lot out of the underground. It's just like the douchebags want to stay douchebags. They just want to stay assholes. And all I'm saying is, if you had a guy over your party and he was talking to people like that, wouldn't you want him to be gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what an online forum is. It's a party. And they want it to be open to anybody, and they don't want any repercussions of their douchiness. They don't want to take responsibility for the way people react to the way they behave. Ricardo Lamas coming back at Diaz here.
Man.
Lamas is a tough motherfucker, man.
Those good combinations, man.
He's recovered from those shots. Oh, Diaz cracked him again, though.
He's moving his feet now. He's actually doing angles.
Yeah. 2 rounds in. Exciting fight. But, you know, forums are great, man. I get a lot out of the underground. I get a lot out of the discussion. It's just like sometimes you'll chop on there and you'll just run into a wave of cunts. Just a one wave will hit you, and you just like, some guys just check out. They're like, all right, I'm done with this place.
Yeah.
And I tried to say that. Like, you guys ran off almost all the fighters. There's very few guys still post there anymore.
Yeah.
And people get upset. Oh, fucking we make those guys. They just don't want to hear the truth. And no. You're just a cunt.
Yeah, you're being a dick.
Yeah,
You're just being. You're saying something when you're talking to a guy like whatever it's Brian Stan or anybody. You're talking in a way online that you would never talk to them if they're standing in front of you.
No, I'll fucking
Oh,
slap
fuck
you.
no.
Or you'd have to be, a complete sociopath. What if you were bigger than them and you talk to them like that? Like, why would you talk to someone like that you don't even know the guy personally? You don't have a relationship with him. You might think you know him. If you want to be critical of his technique or his performance, there's a way to do it respectfully. You could even be funny.
Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna make it funny, then cool. Have fun, and at least if you're gonna be a dick, be funny and make me laugh.
Yeah, look, I don't like a lot of those mean photoshops, but some of them are fucking hilarious. Of dudes that are KO'd and it says some fucked up shit. Like there was some really funny ones that people did about Rashad Evans. I like Rashad a lot, but the
they were pretty
fight,
funny.
They were funny. They were funny. You know, and that's where you could see an argument. You could say, well, you know, like I've seen a lot of photoshops of me and very disrespectful, but I think they're hilarious, and I don't want to stop them at all. I've seen photoshops of me surrounded by dicks, you know, with a tiny woman's body, wearing girls' underwear. I've seen everything, and I never have a problem with it. I think it's funny. As long as it's funny, fucking keep it coming.
Ian has photos of dicks that aren't in Photoshop.
I've seen myself
surrounded by dicks.
Surrounded by dicks before. It's weird.
It's just Tuesday, you know.
Ricardo's on Diaz again. On his back.
Welcome to early MMA, right?
Seriously,
I get a lot out of criticism, though. I really do. I get a lot out of just even if I don't agree with like them being hypercritical. You see a point of view. You know, you see their point of view, and maybe you see how
Got his back.
Oh yeah, look at this. Lamas
Oh,
has
shit.
Diaz's back. This is incredible. He's got a full rear naked choke.
We can't see how deep it is from here, but
Look at it. He's trying to go palm to palm.
oh, he might have
He
it.
is on his fucking chin. And
Oh,
Diaz gives
lost
up.
it.
He did what Ronda Rousey did with Liz
Yeah.
Carmouche. He
Dumped him.
He let go of the defense of the neck just to get rid of the hooks, and then threw him off. Wow, strong confidence in his neck.
The number one thing I get is that I'm trying to be you. It's the number one criticism. The number one asshole thing I get is that I'm trying to be Joe Rogan.
Meanwhile, what they don't know is you had your head shaved years before I shaved my
before
head.
you did.
I totally copied you.
Fucking since high school. And I'm like, you know, true story, my
Look
mom.
at this. Lamas has a fucking guillotine now.
I don't think he's not going to get it from there.
Oh, man,
No.
it's amazing, though, that he's the one who's threatening with chokes. He's had two real close submissions, whereas Diaz hasn't had shit on him.
Is he black belt?
Yeah.
Hakron or Ricardo? I don't know.
Ricardo, I
Is
don't
he?
know.
I don't know.
Hakron is.
Yeah, Hakron is a big black belt. But that's their criticism is ridiculous. You just get excited like I do. Everybody who sees somebody hit goes, oh! That's what you do.
It's funny, man. My mom once got us mixed up. I'm not kidding.
Ah!
I'm literally watching. I was literally watching the UFC at my mother's house. She was making dinner. She's a phenomenal cook. I went over there. She's making dinner. I'm watching the UFC, and she comes in the room, in the living room. She goes, "Oh, it's one of your fights." I go, "No, Mom, that's Joe Rogan." She goes, "Oh, he looks like you." And I go, "Yes, Mom. Thanks." My fucking mom got us mixed up, dude.
Oh, that is
it was funny.
fucking
It was. I was
hilarious.
laughing. It's funny.
That's
you guys
hilarious.
are just. I mean, well,
We're white
just
guys with
different
no
colors
hair.
and no
I mean,
tattoos.
you
I
know.
guess, but
White
it's-
guys
I see
with
it the
no
same
hair.
shaped
White
head
guys
and
with no
bull.
hair.
Who yell a lot.
Yeah,
Why?
seriously.
Yeah. Why are you always?
We do yell a lot. Part of our job.
At least it's entertaining.
You know, and that's another thing about you and I that I really enjoy the fact that we're very friendly. We like each other.
Yeah.
We're friends, and we're supposed to be like competitors.
We're supposed to be enemies. We're supposed to hate one another, I guess.
Which is ridiculous. I tried to get the UFC to hire him. I totally did. I really did. When I told
really
Dana
did.
White, I had a conversation with him. I said, the guy's awesome. I go, I think he's the best guy out there. I go, really think he's really good. I go, the UFC should hire him. I go, I don't know when his contract's up, but you guys should find out. So they looked in. They found out when his contract was up, and then they even started like trying to get him. But then Viacom, there's a lot of money being involved, lawyers, lawsuits threatened.
Did you get paid more?
The Eddie
Attorneys
Alvarez.
scare me. Really scare me.
Eddie Alvarez. Oh, look at this. Look at
Yep.
this. Look at this. He's in
Side
fucking
control.
side control. Lamas
the
on
arm.
top of Hakron
That's
Diaz
nice.
in side control. Incredible performance on the ground by Lamas.
Can't keep
lost the over-under. Oh, when he gets tagged by a right. Hakron Diaz embarrassed right now. Must be embarrassed. And look at this. Lamas on
Oof.
top of him. Good cardio by Lamas, huh?
He's coming back.
Nice
strong.
kick to the body.
He's just aggressive the whole time.
But yeah, I really wanted the UFC to hire Jimmy. If I did even less events, I like watching at home. I'm happy with that. But there's so many events that they're doing now. They're doing two a day.
A lot.
There's two of them happened today. One of them was in New Zealand, and this one here is happening in San Antonio. Two different teams. You know, they had Anik and Florian are doing this one, or Anik and Stan.
Anik
then
and Stan.
Florian and Goldie got shipped off to New Zealand for Fight Pass.
And then
Marquardt looked fucking great. Marquardt looked really good. That was a nasty armbar.
now
too.
he's had TRT issues. Did those get cleared up or no?
We're gonna find out someday.
I guess we're gonna find out soon, huh?
You never know.
Taking about a couple hours.
It is. I told somebody a couple days ago. There wasn't a lady who swallowed a fly. Do you remember that poem?
Yes.
She swallowed a spider to catch a fly. She swallowed a bird to swallow the spider. Once you start doing, I was on this because I was on TRT because I did this. I was getting bitches. I had to take this. So it's just an endless stream. When you start messing with that, man, it's an endless stream of shit.
Yeah, and that's where Chael was in. So it's out on Bloody Elbow, so we could talk about it, right?
Yes, we can.
Because Chael, he's in a situation now where he got popped for a bunch of different shit that he was taking to try to recover from the fact that he was on TRT. And then what people don't understand is when you get off of TRT, your body takes a long time to recover and get back to a point where it's producing a natural level of testosterone.
Yeah.
So guys take things to try to reboost their system. And the things that he tested positive for from the Nevada State Athletic Commission were in those groups, the groups of estrogen inhibitors that they use to try to boost your testosterone. But the UFC, they went through the most comprehensive drug testing that they could possibly get. This thing that cost $45,000 per fighter. And the guy shows up, takes the blood, leaves in a suitcase. They have a chain of custody of the blood, flies with it on a plane, like he's fucking handcuffed to it, like it's the nuclear button.
Nuclear codes.
Yeah, and they did this to Chael, and he tested positive for HGH and EPO.
Which are not part of that group
No.
for post-testosterone therapy.
So he had HGH, he had EPO, and then he had clomiphene and anastrozole. So apparently, what I think it is he was just trying to just do something to jack up his system, get the fucking fires burning. But how many guys are on HGH?
A ton.
Is it 90%? What is it? Is it 60? What's the number? It's a lot. A lot of guys are on HGH. Why? Drum roll. Because it works.
Wasn't testable.
It works.
Weird.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that works.
And for
that's
years
legal.
it wasn't testable. Now
Yeah.
they have developed that test, but it being that expensive, they can't use it on everybody if it's 45 grand a pop.
They're going to use it on everybody.
Really?
I mean,
HGH test for everybody.
I think anytime they get into Ricardo Lamas.
Ricardo Lamas, I think he deserved it.
Fuck yeah. He took that fight.
He did.
I'm just amazed that he got his back like that. I'm amazed that he.
stud.
Yeah,
I'm more impressed he got his bell rung and kept coming.
Yep.
He took some nasty fucking punches.
That 1, 2, 3 combination that he got hit with, and then immediately secured that clinch. He's a real fighter, man.
MMA Masters, by the way, the coach behind him, MMA Masters, they're a team out of South Florida.
Ah,
We were wondering about that before, his team and everything. It's out of South Florida.
that's where he's at now. He's a Chicago guy.
I think so. But I know
Yeah.
MMA Masters out of South Florida. But
Yeah, he
Chicago.
Chicago.
Talking about a handbrake or something?
No, that was just the end of the
Okay.
fight. I don't know what that was.
So I'm looking
about.
at his hand. I thought they were talking about that. We can't really hear the auto in here, by the way, people.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could, but then it runs into weird issues.
Yeah.
Like if we were doing this. Well, the thing is, it's not totally legal. It's kind of on Fox. Like we would kind of be broadcasting
Literally
their stuff.
kind of pirating.
And I kind of work for
They
Fox.
kind of
too.
look down on that. They
Yeah.
frown upon that.
Nobody's
That's the best way
told me
put
to
it.
not do this, but when I told them I was doing this, they went, like they were thinking, this could be a he might say some fucked up shit. Or have a guy like Ian McCall on who will say some fucked up shit. So good for Ricardo Lamas though, because that's a fight where he had a lot to lose and not a lot to
Yeah.
gain.
And he was losing.
And he was losing
Yeah.
in the beginning. That was a great fight.
Very good fight for him. So we were talking about Glory earlier.
Yeah.
How's that kid right there? Can we take a minute to appreciate that kid?
The kid with the bandana and the baseball hat.
George St. Pierre when he was a kid.
There's that good leg kicks. And again, look, what do they show when they show the replay? The replay looks like it's the Ricardo Lamas show.
Yeah.
They don't show any of what Hakron Diaz did. Ricardo Lamas takes him down. Here, Ricardo Lamas hits him with a jab. Come on, man.
In a very competitive fight.
The move of the
Very
fight.
competitive fight.
Yeah, I think the
It was
moves of
very
the
hard.
fight. Move of the fight should be both. I'm going to talk to them about that the next event. We'll see if they listen to me.
You got juice, right? You got pull.
I got a little
People
juice.
listen to you.
I've been around.
Everybody ignores me.
I know some things,
but-
my friend. Is that Joe Stevens?
Yep.
What's Joe up to these days?
Joe Daddy?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Joe
I think just
Stevenson.
teaching.
That kid started his MMA career as a
Oh my
professional
God.
at 16.
16 years old, man.
Chris Brennan choked him out in UFC when he was 16.
16 years old. Unfucking
King of the Cage.
believable.
Yeah.
King of the
Cage or
Unfucking
UFC?
It was King of the Cage. The first King of the Cage.
Okay. It was, yeah. And they tried to get me to fight when I was 16. King of the Cage.
He beat
So
up Joe
crazy.
Camacho his first fight.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Tough.
Joe Camacho, rest in peace.
Dude.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe that. Former teammate of mine.
He was a good dude.
Yeah, he was.
I like Joe. JC Plenty.
Dude would fight anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Good dude too, man.
That's another thing that's kind of gone. Understandably, I get it, but,
Yeah.
you know.
There was a few of those guys.
And a lot of them have crap records because they would fight
Yeah.
anywhere. Chris Brennan, give him a call. He'll show up. He'll fight.
Dude, that
Wild
fight-
Man Denny, give him a ring. Well, it's the reason they have,
You know they'll show up.
they'll know they'll show up. You know they'll fight. They'll have, 20 losses. They don't give a shit.
That fucking knockout of Weidman versus Silva that just showed in the replay. I watch it. I've seen it 100 times. I still don't believe it's happening. I just go, there's no way. There's no way that's real. It's like, you remember when Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson and
Yeah.
you watch the replay like 10 times in a row? You're like, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching a hologram.
Yeah.
I'm
Greatest
watching
upset in boxing history,
crazy upset.
in my opinion.
But when you watch it, it doesn't seem real. Like when I watch Hendon Barrow, TJ Dillashaw, I've watched it again. It seems real. TJ put on a masterful performance, but I believe it. When I watch Weidman connect with that left hook, I'm like, is this a parallel universe? Is this something? Am I in a dream?
Yeah.
Did that really happen?
I cried me and my brother cried when Tyson lost.
Did you
When we
really?
were kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What happened, Daddy? So my dad, we still watches every UFC, every boxing. He knows his shit.
That's awesome.
And he just, I remember, oh my God, Superman just died.
When he was struggling to put that mouthpiece back in,
Yep.
motherfucker
Falling
was,
over.
That was it.
game to the end, though.
Yeah.
Still trying to put his mouthpiece back
Went out
in.
on the shield.
Scrunching around on the ground, trying to get that thing in his mouth.
Speaking of awful corners, Aaron
yeah.
Snowell, they didn't
Worst
bring an
ever.
N-Swell.
They had a water bag.
a rubber glove full of ice.
That's the most
ice
ridiculous
water.
shit ever. No
Oh
end
my
swell.
God.
They didn't have an end swell.
And that was, we were talking about cornering. Go at him, Mike. You go, all right, Mike, move your head. He's hitting you with it. I mean, there were technical things that anybody could have told him, and they literally just had no idea what to do.
That's a
like he had
perfect-
always beaten everybody else.
It's a perfect example of a guy learning from fantastic coaches and then thinking he doesn't need any more
Yeah.
coaching.
Kevin Rooney, amazing coach.
Kevin Rooney was amazing, and before that,
Teddy
of course,
Atlas
Teddy
before
Atlas.
that.
Atlas.
So
Customato.
Teddy pulled a gun on him.
Yep.
That tends to dampen the relationship
That'll do
a
that.
bit. You're not supposed to fuck Teddy's niece, Mike.
Yeah, generally cornering his niece.
Yes. That,
Generally a
her.
bad idea.
You fucking beast.
fucking savage.
Yeah,
Just-
hey, can't believe leaving little girls around Mike Tyson either, by the way.
Speaking
You're both at
of
fault.
speaking of scenes where you go, did I just see that? The interview he did before the Lennox fight when there's a woman reporter and she says something, goes, "Are you talking out of turn?" And she
Yeah.
goes, "I thought we were all just talking." He goes, "Because I usually don't do interviews with women unless they'll fornicate with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should stop talking now." And you just go, "Did I just see that?"
Hey, he's an
He
old
is a-
school savage.
Whoa.
I'll fuck you till you love me.
I'll
Yeah.
fuck you
Faggot,
till you love
faggot.
me, faggot.
Yeah.
Oh, running
one
for
of
me
the
like a
craziest
scared
things
white
ever.
bitch.
Yeah.
Oh
at
my
you.
God.
Scared
of the real
man.
Oh. When you just look at me, you go, are you for real, man?
Well, when you hear him now, when
Oh.
he talks about how much coke he was doing, it makes
Oh,
sense.
makes sense,
seriously.
I'll eat his babies. Remember that? I'll eat
Oh.
his babies. Praise be to Allah.
I want to eat his children. I'm ferocious. My defense is impregnable.
I'm Jack Dempsey.
Oh.
I'm Jack Johnson.
Ferocious.
I'm ferocious.
Heavyweight champion ever lived.
I'm precocious. Yeah, that was those were the days, man. Those were the days. They're showing the Weidman versus Lyoto Machida fight. What do you think about this? Do you think that he's going to be able to get a hold of Machida?
Machida's tough for anybody. He's just, his style is kryptonite. And I have a tremendous respect, for everybody he's fought, but it's just, you just can't get a handle on Machida. He's so hard to get a handle on, man.
Weidman has bad knees too, man. Real bad. And he's fought through it because he's incredibly tough. But he had Regenikine done on both of his knees. And then after he had Regenikine done, he felt great and then fucked him up again. And then had to get meniscus surgery. So he got meniscus surgery on both knees. And it wasn't that long ago. And that's what canceled his last fight. That's what postponed the fight. And then, obviously he was supposed to fight Vitor. Vitor had to pull out. They still have, Vitor apparently still has to get licensed and tested and all that jazz. But he's another one of those guys off the testosterone replacement. And, now what? Especially with this new ruling when they found out, now that everybody knows that Chael Sonnen got popped, and now that everybody knows that he got popped with this new testing that they're doing, this $45,000 testing.
Who's scrambling right now?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering about is who's right now going, oh, shit.
There's dudes that are
There's
scrambling.
a lot of motherfuckers that are like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
a
the older
lot of
guys.
guys.
Especially the older guys. It's been anybody that was on it.
Yeah.
There was only a handful of guys that were officially on testosterone replacement, but they're all fucked. Dan Henderson is the only one who's been able to fight on it and off it with very similar results. Like he fought Rashad Evans, he was off of it because Winnipeg didn't have sanctioning. They didn't sanction testosterone replacement. So Dan apparently only takes a little bit of it. So he's like, I just won't take it.
Yeah.
So he just fought without it, and it wasn't like a sweeping difference between how he looked.
Yeah. Dan's a guy, by the way, personally, I used to train him a little bit, and Dan's just a great guy. I really like him. I really don't want to see him have that fight where he's suddenly old. I just hope he gets out before then because he's looked okay. He's looked good. I don't want him to have that fight.
Yeah.
I just really don't want
Right.
to see it as a fan. I really don't want to see that fight, man.
Well, he's got a chin that's made out of some new kind of metal. It's like they don't even
Some
know what it
Wolverine
is
shit.
yet. Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
even make sense. I've never seen a guy take shots like he takes shots. He's got the best chin I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've seen him get rocked. Anderson rocked him. Anderson lit him up with like a 4 or 5 punch combination before he KO'd him, or before he choked him out, rather. He's the first guy that I've ever seen hurt Dan like that, but Dan's been in some crazy ass fucking wars.
Remember
with people.
Vanderlei and Pride
Yes.
beat the dog shit out of him
in the first fight?
In the first fight,
Yeah.
beat the dog shit out of him.
Beat the dog shit out of him.
Kept going.
And he fucked Vanderlei up too. That's what Vanderlei was. Just if you had a steroid test and you brought it near him, it would explode. It would start shaking in your hands.
It'd be like antimatter, meaning a black hole would be created.
Yeah, like,
because
you know,
you're fucking screwed.
Like a Memorex commercial when they yell, they sing, and the fucking glass breaks.
Yeah, that's
it would just fucking explode. So he got rocked with a big punch.
Yeah.
And Dan caught him with a huge right hand, fucked his eye up. Remember, Vanderlei's eye was completely closed. And by the way he was fighting, it was like he didn't even notice it.
Didn't even care.
Didn't even care.
I don't think enough people, and this is, I really believe this, Crow Cop beat the career out of Vanderlei Silva.
I believe he did too.
He beat him so badly in Pride Grand Prix heavyweight. I don't think Vanderlei was ever the same dude after that.
I think you're right.
I think it beat the career out of him.
That was Vanderlei.
That one fight, man.
Vanderlei was trying to fight at 214 pounds. Again, juice to the
so big.
gills.
He wouldn't piss hot. He would piss liquid steroid. Like you can drink that and get jacked.
You'd gain
bro.
10 pounds.
You'd
get home. You'd be like, why am I so big?
Dude.
You could eat Vanderlei.
His wife
just be juiced out yourself,
dude. But his wife was all jacked. And
Yeah, she
shit,
grew a
you know,
beard.
like, she grew a beard.
Yeah,
Oh.
Vanderlei was a monster. I mean, he was just not afraid of anybody. But that was when
For those of you who
Crow Cop
hasn't
was
saw
Crow
it,
Cop.
see it, dude.
Yeah.
It's an ass whooping from the beginning to end.
Yeah,
He was
it's
a
an ass
scary,
whip.
scary person back then. Those
then.
kicks were just like.
And he fucked Vanderlei up before he KO'd him. He had
Yeah,
him
it was
lit
bad.
up. His
Vanderlei's
takedown
never been the
defense
same
was
guy.
so good. But then again, he's another guy. Well, they were all when you talk to Ensign anyway, he said they had contracts that said they don't test for steroids. Like the contracts are telling you they're not going to test for steroids.
Yeah.
You know, Ensign laughs about it.
Yeah.
But you look at
They
a
didn't
guy
give a fuck.
like Crow Cop, and he comes over to the UFC, and he's just never the fucking same.
What-
He's not the same guy.
Everybody goes, yeah, Pride fighters weren't that good. They came over to UFC and got smoked. And I'm like, number one, a couple of them won belts, like Minotauro and Rampage. But, gee, you think? I go, they were just juiced
To the gills.
to the gills, man.
And we all know that you can only have so many of those
Yep.
fucking fights.
Yeah,
The
the
reason they were
wars.
big in Pride is they had 20 of,
Yeah.
20 fights against top guys. And everybody now is like a Pride fan. Like, it's like cool to be a Pride fan.
Yeah.
They had some freak show fights that made no sense. That a lot of, and I love Pride, I'm an old school Pride fan, but a lot of those fights were like, they would throw guys. Remember Daijiro Matsui? They would just throw him to
Against
the
anybody.
walls against anybody. It's like you can't take that number of beatings or just hard fights, period, and have a career after that. Like it's just
Sakuraba.
Sakuraba.
I mean, that- and
they
that-
gave him no love, dude. Like after he was, after he lost to Vanderlei the second time, it was clear that he wasn't gonna be Vanderlei. Then it was Crow Cop. It was just they never gave the guy a break, man.
The one time I saw him was at Saboba, King of the Cage, and he was drinking and smoking cigarettes the whole time. Didn't even watch the fights.
Well, apparently he always smoked.
Yeah,
Always
nicotine-
smoked when he was in training.
Nicotine
Yeah.
supplements is what he said.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, that's what he called them?
Oh, I think he's something
It's amazing how good his cardio was.
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I mean, the guy never gassed out, and
Never.
he smoked cigarettes all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, what's his name from Nicaragua, the boxer? The guy who
Mayorga.
tried...
Ricardo Mayorga.
Ricardo Mayorga
Drink.
tried a little bit of MMA.
Old school Chavez.
Yeah, and it's just to smoke cigarettes.
Romy from my gym. He just smokes, eats gristle, and drinks alcohol.
Really?
And he just like he never gets tired punching. You take him for a run, you'll run him into the ground. It's easy, but you try and punch with him and bop 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 bop. I'm like, dude, we just went 5-5s and you're still punching faster than
And
me.
you smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, and you smoke cigarettes every day. Like,
Well, a lot
all
of
day.
Thai guys do, right?
Yeah.
The Thais, a lot
Oh,
of the
he
Thais
trades
smoke
he
cigarettes.
trades cigarettes with the foreigners.
That's so hilarious to get some foreign cigarettes.
Yeah.
So this is Cesar Ferreira, who won the
Just,
Ultimate Fighter Brazil. He's coming off of that knockout loss to CB Dalloway, though, right? Wasn't that his last fight? Dalloway
don't know.
caught him with
Yeah,
a
I think so.
beautiful punch. Dalloway's stand-up is much improved. And this is an interesting fight, man. Andrew Craig, who's another one of those guys that's an athlete in other sports that came into MMA late in life.
He played football? What did he do?
I don't remember. I don't remember what he did. I wish I had my cheat sheet in front of me. I could pretend I'm smart.
I fought with him in Brazil.
Did you?
Yeah. Or not Brazil,
He's a good dude.
in Australia. Super nice guy. We cut weight together.
Yeah, very good dude. Tough guy, too, man. I loved how he looked against Chris Lieben. That was one of the signs that it was over for Lieben.
Yeah.
Because Andrew Craig avoided all Lieben's charges and fought really... he got tagged. Ferreira tagged him. Ferreira's trying to lock up an anaconda choke right away. Oh, look at this. Arm and guillotine. He loves that arm and guillotine, too, man. He got that arm and guillotine in one of his last fights. He hops over to the side, gets his hips on the side, and traps the arm in with his hips. We were just talking about this last night.
Yeah.
With some jiu-jitsu guys at the Ice House about that guillotine. A lot of guys are doing that now. They trap that arm in and jump off to the side.
You can circle and go Peruvian, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I like the Peruvian necktie. Now he's switching it up to that 10-finger. Nope, Andrew's got those hands separated. Let's see if Andrew goes to his back. Because that's the thing. A lot of dudes don't want to give up the back, you know? And Andrew stood back up. Nicely done by Craig. Andrew Craig's got to get rid of that crazy beard. Look at that. It looks very Uncle Creepy-like.
I know,
Only one
seriously.
of us can have that motherfucker.
Don't get mad.
Well, if another
He's
dude
sitting here
starts
pissed.
twirling up the tips of his mustaches, then you're going to have to have talked with him. Listen, son.
Eddie Wineland did it. He does it.
Does he?
Yeah, I'll give him a
Eddie
pass.
does?
Yeah.
When does he do it? I never saw him do that.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if he still has it. I know he's had it before in the past.
What'd you think about his last fight?
Who did he fight last?
He got knocked out, remember?
Oh, by...
Brazilian cat.
yeah, a young one, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. And he might retire, which sucks.
Oh, because he's got his jaw broken.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hate
Had to get
that.
it wired.
I love watching that guy fight.
Yeah,
but
he's exciting.
you want to talk about a guy who never keeps his fucking hands up.
Yeah. He just slings.
I mean, he moved his head real
He's
good.
got good footwork, good head
Yeah,
movement.
Johnny
but-
Eduardo knocked him out.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cut bad. Look at that. His blood running down the side of his face.
Yeah, it's a good spot, though, the top of his head. And he's
Yeah.
got cornrows like a fucking white chick hanging out with black dudes.
Or in Cabo.
Or in Cabo, yeah.
Oh.
Or a Bo Derek fan.
Oh, Derek, man.
What-
That's an old school one.
What's going on? You got poked, too? God damn it, I hate these eye pokes. Now, here's something that Bellator is doing good. I like that new glove that you guys have.
Other than Jimmy Smith.
Oh, that's
No, I mean,
the
that's-
main
I
thing.
mean, that's the main
that
thing,
J-
but, you know,
Bellator's
beyond
doing
that-
good. That Jimmy Smith guy.
That guy.
The guy he works with, a little
Guy's
questionable.
awesome.
But the gloves, those new Everlast gloves that are they protect the hand more and they're more curved.
Yeah, they're kind of bent. If you haven't seen them, they're kind of like,
Yeah,
they
I
make
have.
the hand cup a little bit.
I would sure like some more hand protection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I know. Ian's got a fucked up hand right now. How many times have you had hand surgery?
Twice. But it's 2 surgeries, 2 breaks. And it's just, I mean, it'll break again. It's just one of those things.
You just hit too hard, son. Got a problem.
Or I hit people in the top of the head.
That's a problem
That's
too.
a killer.
This
Ooh.
good straight left by Ferreira. That the Everlast glove, they've had very few hand breaks in Bellator since that was implemented, right? What was
Yeah.
the statistic, Jimmy? You're the guy over there.
I am the guy over there.
What are
Please
the
go ahead.
numbers, Jimmy?
For the handbrakes? Statistics about what?
Yeah.
What's your specific question?
What, I don't know.
Oh, there was a
just
bunch of
yelling.
there was a statistic. Look how small Vitor Belfort's arm looks. I mean, I don't want to be the guy saying that. But
Just throwing that out there. That
That's,
I'm looking at you big as you used to.
get rid of that, guys. They hurt us in the truck. I know that there was like a ton of handbrakes one season, the season before the implementation of these gloves, and since then I don't think there's been a break.
I haven't seen one.
I think they've like literally eliminated handbrakes, which is, I mean, it's kind of anecdotal. It's not like a
Well, the problem they've had in Bellator, and obviously it's going to change next year, is with the tournament system, the guy would get his hand broken, and that was it. I mean, he had to throw in somebody else. Like, an injury, we would go, okay, well, he won't fight for 4 months anyway. No, he's got to fight in a month.
Yeah, that's-
So that's why they don't allow elbows on the ground, is because, or the elbows period, is because they didn't want cuts where you get a 60-day suspension. You can't fight the next month. So
Yeah.
that would really fucked Bellator up is when people got injured. If you fight in a month, you got a broken hand, you're done. I mean, it's just you got to replace them.
Do you think that they're going to change that fight in a month thing with Coker involved? Because I think they're getting rid of the tournament thing.
Yes. They the seasonal format where we're doing a fight a week for 3 months is going to go. That's what they're talking about because essentially, one time I'll tell this story. Mauro Ranello used to call me every week to do when he was on the Score radio show or whatever. And to kind of break down next week's Bellator. And one time he goes, all right, well, in 3 weeks. And I went, oh, shit, I don't know what's happening in 3 weeks. Like, that's like a year to me, That's like 4 fights from now. Yeah. So I had to like run to my computer and like pull it up real quick so I could talk about it. I don't know what's happening in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. How are the fans going to know what's happening? We couldn't build up a fight because we had a fight every week. So unless you were like in it, because you like watching fights every week. We did have those fans that got into it, like you'd get into a TV series. It was hard to hype a fight and make a fight really big. And Scott Coker's whole thing now is big fights, and you need lead time, and you need promotional time to build those up. Yeah. It can't be done every week. So,
and by the way, nobody gives a fuck about tournaments. They like fights.
Yeah, they like fights.
What they like. Here's the statistics, so you know. The new gloves debuted at Bellator 110, and Bellator has held 9 events and experienced 0 handbrakes since the implementation of the new gloves. By comparison, Bellator Season 8 saw 11 events use the old glove design and included 8 broken hands, including welterweight champion Douglas Lima, a beast. That dude's a beast.
Dude's a monster.
And lightweight standouts, Saad Awad. Is that how you say it?
Syed Awad.
Syed Awad. And
broke it against Dave Rickles.
And Alexander Sarnovsky.
Yeah.
All broke their hand.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I remember those fights.
Season 9 also featured 11 events and had 7 fighters suffer breaks. Hold on a second. Season 8. Okay, this is saying Season 8 had the new gloves, and they had 8 broken hands. Okay, hold on a second.
Wait a second.
Since the new glove, they've held 9 events. Okay, Bellator Season 8 saw 11 events with the old gloves.
Now you're understanding the confusion of the season format now. Yeah. Right here, Joe is just exemplifying that.
I don't get it. Well, apparently they haven't had any handbrakes since the new gloves.
I did know that we haven't had any since they had the new one.
That's incredible.
That's pretty crazy.
That's pretty amazing. So, if you see the gloves, you see them in an image. You can see them here. The comparison between the old gloves and the new gloves. They're just thicker. Yeah. Thicker on top. And not any heavier, right? Nope. They're still 4-ounce gloves.
They're the same. All
right, so Andrew Craig, Cesar Ferreira, or Mutante fighting the second round here. Mutante's fucking huge for 185.
Yeah, Lima's one of those guys. You look at him and you go, how the fuck do you make 170 pounds? He is a giant.
What does that guy walk around at?
220?
Jesus.
215? Seriously. North of 200. It's well north of 200.
A perfect example of a guy who diminished by losing weight is Anthony Rumble Johnson. He's the best example.
Yeah.
Look at what the fuck that guy looks like as a light heavyweight. He's got to be kicking himself for not being a light heavyweight all along.
He's a scary
having
giant.
Full energy and full. What he did to Phil Davis, nobody's done to Phil Davis. No.
He manhandled him.
Manhandled him.
Dude.
Stuffed every takedown like it was a joke. Yeah. Beat the shit out of him standing. Made it look like he didn't belong in there with him. It was amazing.
I kept thinking this guy fought at 170.
Just power-wise.
And Rashad beat Phil Davis, but
didn't physically
didn't do it like that.
Wipe the floor with him.
Didn't do it like that. Anthony Rumble Johnson is fucking frightening.
Yeah, it's a scary dude.
So Andrew Craig and Mutante here in the second round. So yeah, Ferreira did. He lost his last fight. That was
the Dalloway fight.
Yeah, that was the Dalloway fight. Which was a great fight for Dalloway. Dalloway is another one of those guys that really is coming into his own lately. You're just starting to see it. Dalloway's just starting to get real comfortable with his hands. Real loose with his hands. Spinning back fist. It's interesting how you're seeing, like we were talking about this the other day, that MMA has a lot of like one guy will do one thing and you'll see it happen. You'll see it be effective like a wheel kick, and then you'll see like everybody throwing wheel kicks.
Everybody's trying it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Look at this.
Holy shit.
Tante's strong as fuck. Good takedown defense by Craig, though. Andrew Craig's a really good athlete, man. And the reason why he's gotten so good at MMA so quickly.
Yeah, it's not the technique anymore. It's the X factor is how good of an athlete are they?
Yeah. That's definitely a part of it, right? I mean, Marcelo Garcia has always said that about no-gi jiu-jitsu, that the difference between no-gi and gi is that physical attributes are so much more important in no-gi, that a guy who's really physically strong accounts for so much more.
Yeah.
Whereas a guy who's physically strong in a gi, you know, we've all seen it. Guys get wrapped up and spider-webbed. You know, they just get gummed up.
Tedede took second in the world at heavyweight.
Did he really?
At heavyweight. Lost to Fabricio Verdum on points.
That's incredible.
At heavyweight.
At heavyweight.
Gi, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how good Tedede was. I mean, this guy fought for the non-jiu-jitsu people. Fought around 170 pounds. Schooled Marcelo Garcia in the Worlds, I think, 2003, 2004?
Was it
2003,
really?
yeah.
With
Killed
a
him.
gi.
With a gi. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a perfect example. This guy, you know, I've seen Jeff Glover school heavyweights with a gi, you know, but
Amazing.
It's very different when you take that gi off, man.
Yeah, that's why a lot of guys like, you know, the gi make you technical. My friend, you know, you're going to train for MMA, but you're going to train in the gi. Why they want to do that? Because when they roll with you, they can still wrap you up.
Your Brazilian jiu-jitsu, your Brazilian accent is incredible, by the way.
It's not bad, my friend.
It's not bad. It's normal.
I've been around, you know, do this guy with these guys, you know, jiu-jitsu. It's very good.
Yeah, very true.
Cesar Ferreira. Wheel
kick.
Wheel kick. That was like the capoeira
Just talked
style.
about it.
Dropped down and put his hands on the ground and everything. Andrew Craig looks very V for Vendetta.
He does. He's doing the wrong thing, though, is when Ferreira's throwing the wild techniques, he's freezing.
Mm-hmm.
Craig's kind of looking at it.
Right.
And, no, that's the time to get on the guy.
Yeah.
You know, but...
Straight shots.
Yeah, straight shots. And right now he's seeing the funky techniques and freezing. He's looking at it.
He's still got a lot of growing to do, you know? I mean, it's hard for a guy who's getting into MMA late in life with no expertise in anything. It's one thing if you're like a Crow Cop guy that was a high-level kickboxer, enters into MMA, and then we get to watch the transition. But these guys that are learning everything as they go along. Do you think you could date a girl like Ronda Rousey, Jimmy Smith, if you were a single guy?
Date? Let's do some definitions
date.
here.
I use the word date.
I could date a lot of people.
But we're being nice.
We're being nice here. Could I date? Yes.
Could that be your girlfriend? Do you think you'd handle that?
Crazy, and well, it's weird because I tend to attract a lot of crazy women.
No way.
Yeah, no way.
Weird.
I don't believe it.
Everybody in this room.
Yeah, seriously.
Whatever do you mean?
It's like it's not even my fault, you know.
Yeah, if chicks aren't crazy, I'm not interested.
But yeah, seriously, but
what are we going to talk about? I'm crazy. If you're not crazy,
yeah, if you're not at least a little nuts,
this is not going to work out. Let's just talk right now. Good front kicks to the body by Ferreira. Oh,
Nice
shit.
oh, nice! I
Nice
cut him up,
Oh,
Beautiful.
man, that's
sliced him up.
nasty.
Nice one.
Nasty cut.
And it's right.
Oh,
Look at that fucking
beautiful
power,
takedown.
man.
Yeah, he's strong as fuck. That's a big boy.
He is large.
He's huge for 185. It's almost hard to believe when you stand next to him that he makes that weight. Wow. Because I weigh 185. So how's that guy 100? It doesn't make any sense. You know, I'm like, you're way bigger than me. Andrew's fucked up, man. He's really bloody.
That is something a lot of people ask me, you know, because I've been in the sport since about 2001-ish, 2000, I guess. And hey, what's changed the most? I go, weight cutting has guys are so much bigger than they used to be. It used to be pretty much just wrestlers did that. Now everybody does it.
Dude, Andrew Craig is a mask of blood. That is bad.
And it's right over the eye, which is a bad place to get cut.
Well irrigated.
He's trying to get back up. And Cesar's got his back.
Now,
defend that left hook. Oh, son.
I never have. So I'm going to ask you, Ian,
all.
have you ever had a cut roughly that nasty in a fight?
No.
Never?
No.
I always wonder if there's just because it never really bothered me getting hit, and I never really got cut that bad. But just see it because you don't see what we're seeing. You don't know where it is. You don't know exactly how deep it is. You can't see it, and suddenly my eyes are full of blood. It's just that's got to be a moment where you go, oh shit.
That is a gas.
Because that's a bad one. Because you don't know how bad it
Practice
is.
one time. I still have stitches in my eye.
In
You can
practice?
feel them. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I just bam, and then I was looking at the ceiling, just like,
Yeah.
and all I heard was, "God damn it, Chris! God damn it!" This Japanese kid was freaky athlete good.
Yeah.
And just jumped knee me in the face when I was shooting, and just blasted my eye open. It was just like, I'm surprised it hasn't opened. It's still got stitches in it. You can feel them.
So they dissolve. It's
never-
one of those.
No, this was a long time ago.
They never
just
took them
never
out?
got them pulled out.
No, I guess I
Supposed to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
it was
not good.
It was because I was fighting soon, and then
just left him in
Oh.
there
yeah.
By the way, Ferrer's got a nice rear naked, but he can't extend his back.
because
he's
he's
up
trapped
against
up
the
against
fence.
the cage. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Can't-
a real problem.
Can't put his hips into it. Yeah.
That's the benefit of the ring. Oh, well, now he's got it.
Now I might be in trouble.
I can extend.
Well, Andrew's actually scooting back. That body triangle sucks a fat dick, doesn't it?
Formiga had me with that for the first round of our fight,
Worst feeling.
Yeah.
and I couldn't get him off. Like, it was impossible.
The worst is when a guy's got your back and your belly down. And that body triangle's locked in.
Just
Sucks.
stretching
Brutal.
you.
Tony Freakland
Yeah,
tapped out to that.
Ivan Salvary got
Yep.
him.
Another great example of that is Anderson Silva beat Hayato Sakurai and had a body challenge who's beating the dog shit out of him in Shuto for the old school fans.
He's switching it
that
up.
was a long
Back
time
That was a
and
long
forth.
time ago, man.
Man,
Ferreras keeps trying, but Andrew Craig is not giving up. I mean, a minute. 40
Sakurai's one of my
in the
favorites
last
of all
round.
time.
All
so.
time.
Yo, dude, I love Hayato Sakurai.
that
man.
old school highlight of his.
Yep.
awesome.
Love it. Dun
was
it.
awesome.
Dun it. He's just cartwheeling over the guard and shit.
That was a fight that I was bummed out at when he fought Gomi in Pride and he came out with his leg all mummified
Yeah.
up and you knew
Yeah.
he was fucked up. You knew he was injured going into that fight.
And he always got screwed with that head and arm throw he'd try. And it, like Anderson Silva, if you slip, you get your back taken. And he did that against Gomi, he did that against Silva. Same thing.
The Japanese dudes, they go out there to die.
Yeah.
I mean, they are savages.
I was ringside. It was before I ever even worked for the UFC. I was cage side when Matt Hughes fought him in the UFC. And that was when it was evident the difference between a guy who cuts weight
Yeah.
and was a big,
Yeah.
strong wrestler and a guy who doesn't. And Sakurai just did not belong in there with Matt Hughes.
Yeah.
Matt Hughes just mauled him. He was just too big and too good at the time. Look at
That's-
this. Hanging on with that.
Oh! Oh my God, he might have him.
Oh my
Shit.
goodness! Head kicked him.
This would be crazy.
Oh!
Jesus.
Caesar, he's fucked up.
He's fucked.
Andrew Craig is game as fuck. Oh, he tagged him with that right hand.
He cannot see the punches coming. He can't see the right hand.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Craig can't let off the gas now.
But he doesn't have
He
anything
will
left.
lose the fight.
He's gave a pint of blood back there when he was
Yep.
sitting down. Oh, he tagged him again.
He's got to finish him.
You gotta finish him. Jump on him. There we go. Keep landing that fucking right hand.
Ferrer can just jump guard right now. You might just flop and jump guard. He'll make it.
Ready to wing that right hand. Look at this.
Didn't do
And
it.
he's like, here comes,
Didn't
bitch.
pull the trigger in time.
Wow. I don't know. Wow, that's interesting.
Wow.
You know, the cut is one thing, but you get past the cut, who did more damage?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, other
That's
than the
a nasty
cut,
one. Look at
it
that.
is a nasty cut.
But he also threatened with the rear naked.
Yep,
I
but
mean,
not
so-
really. Not really. It never looked like it was close. That was the closest. That head kick and those combinations. That's an interesting case
That
as
is
far
a
as
tough one.
like judging a round.
Yeah.
If I was going to judge that round, I think I would be inclined to give it to him because he head kicked him, had him rocked, chasing him. He was way closer to being ended than a guy defending the back. You know, guys defend the back for a whole round and they're fine the next round. He's not fine. He got fucked up. You know, he got head kicked, he got cracked. But that highlights the real problem with a 10-point must boxing system being used in MMA and not being even used correctly.
Well, the problem is that the equal criteria, according to most of them, is effective striking and effective grappling. Yeah. Well, effective grappling doesn't cut a guy up, doesn't leave a lot of marks. Effective striking, guys on roller skates, it's way easier to see.
Yeah.
So judging-wise, it's very difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
Really difficult.
It's true. Very true. Very true.
I've seen guys get schooled. I mean, that's the great thing about jiu-jitsu when we train it. I mean, you can go with a world champ and all you do is tap a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't. If you go 10 rounds with Malapet, you know, you're like gluing your limbs back together. You know, it just doesn't, even in sparring.
Right.
So, you know, with grappling, that's a great part of it. Oh, shit, I just got pinned a lot. It was unfortunate, but you're okay the next day.
That's what I tell all the little, because we had these two brothers from Art of Jiu-Jitsu that do strength conditioning with me, and I'm like, stick with Jiu-Jitsu. don't get beat up for a living.
Don't have to worry about getting punched.
Hopefully your sport will start making you some money.
Well, if
stick
you
with
don't,
that, they're like, we don't want to get punched. I'm like, good.
if you don't desperately want to fight MMA, you definitely
Don't do
shouldn't
it.
fight MMA.
No.
You just shouldn't do it. It's got to be something that is an obsession to you. And if it's not an obsession to you, avoid it at all costs, man.
They're just nice little surfer kids who are like 8 or 10. And they just like, yeah, we just want to do jiu-jitsu and surf. I'm like,
There you go.
There you go.
for
Sounds
you.
beautiful. Cesar Ferreira.
I thought he deserved it.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I don't think he's going to remember that last round, though.
No.
Very interesting. Good fight. It
Yeah.
shows how tough Andrew Craig is, man.
Seriously.
Tough as fuck. They're showing the kick. Oh, no, they're not. That's just a straight left that took him down. Yeah, again, move of the fight is
Off
all the guy who won.
Yep.
There's that elbow. God
Oh.
damn, that was perfect.
That was
Jesus.
beautiful.
That was like he hit him with a razor blade.
Look at that.
Perfect.
Takedown.
And here's just power and technique. Look at this. Rotation of the body.
Clear the legs.
There's some core strength, son. Boom. And you see that gash is immediately
It's like
pouring.
a glop of blood landed on his shoulder.
Amazing.
What's that
Who's
movie?
who's like out of all-time favorite fighters to watch? Who's like your all-time favorite fighter to watch?
I think my all-time favorite fighter to watch is Hayato Sakurai. He was like my favorite. Fighting in Shuto. I love watching that guy. Love watching him.
I think Prime Vanderlei is mine.
Yeah, probably was great.
Yeah.
Prime Vanderlei was so fucking crazy. He was so
frightening.
wild.
Smiling
Yeah.
and stomping on people.
You know what I used to love when he would do this thing?
Oh,
the beginning of the fight,
loosen up the
rotating the
wrists.
wrists.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
He was so mad dog. Like when he fought Rampage, those two fights with Rampage,
Yeah.
he was so mad dog. Just mad dog.
Need him 50 times, man.
Oh, he was so crazy.
Ugh.
It was so fun to watch him, man, when he was at his best. He was just so ferocious. So ferocious. You know, it was funny, like, Phil Baroni was talking about it once, and he was like, fucking let everybody do fucking steroids. He goes, I want to see juiced up Vanderlei back when he was in Pride, when he was at his best.
Yeah.
I was laughing, but I was like, part of me agrees
Yeah.
with that. Like, as a fan, just a fan of the spectacle
Yeah.
of Vanderlei Silva, of Crow Cop, of the guys when they were at their best. You know, that was fun to watch. Vanderlei
Yeah.
in his prime was fun to watch. You know, who knows what he was actually on? I'm just assuming.
We're just
there were some things-
guessing. We're not medical professionals
Yeah, look,
here.
we all know that people take things. I mean, there's a reason why this Chael Sonnen news is out. There's a reason why it's not that surprising. It's not like, you know, it's
Not the first thing
people-
he's cheated with.
People take things. They just do. And especially when you talk to a guy like Ensign who tells you that no one got tested and that the fucking
Nobody.
contract said, we will not test you for steroids. And then in Brazil, you can get steroids the same place you get gum.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take a pack of gum, some fucking horse
Nozzolol.
steroids.
Go ahead and throw that in there, too.
Something with a horse on the label. Give me that. Ooh, Calvin Gastelum and Nico Musoke.
He's gotten so good.
Fuck
Gastelum's
yes.
got
Gastelum's
some footwork
striking
is fucking awesome.
ridiculous. The looseness of his striking, his boxing against Rick Story was really, really impressive. But fucking kid's struggling to make weight. And Mike Dolce is a motherfucker, dude. Mike Dolce took a picture because after he lost, he didn't make weight again. And they asked him why he stopped using Dolce. He said because Dolce was too expensive. So Dolce took a picture of him making weight easy at 170. And then he wrote hashtag worth every penny. Which is fucked up.
It's true.
But there's Musoke.
I've never seen this kid.
Oh, he's good, man. Yeah, I saw him for the first time last year. Calvin Gastelum, though. I'm wondering what it's going to be like with him coming off of that loss or coming off of that weight cut. Because that's a hard weight cut that he didn't make. He didn't make it.
Promotionally, and once again, man, if you're getting into this game, promotionally, it makes you so hard to deal with. It makes you they hate that.
Yeah.
I mean, they hate that with a passion. It's very hard to promote a guy who doesn't make weight. It's how much do we put behind this guy? We don't know if he's going to get on the scale and make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can really, really kill your career.
It ruins the relevance of a fight.
Ruins it completely.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it a little bit before, but is there a way that you can have guys weigh in the day of the fight? My thought, I had a crazy idea. It's not a good idea, but you could have an understudy. Like you know how they do at Broadway? Like if a guy gets hurt,
Yeah.
the show must go on. They have a guy who actually knows the role, and he'll take the place if a guy gets sick or something like that. Like if a guy does not weigh in at a specific amount the day of the fight.
Commentators don't have those, by the way. We got to get on there whether we have a voice or not.
Yeah, we don't get drug tested
seriously.
either, though.
We don't get drug tested.
I wouldn't do so good in that. I had a couple of issues with
God
that.
damn it.
You want to get me
Joe?
to retire? Implement drug testing for MMA commentators.
Joe will
So
immediately
they're like,
retire.
That's a wrap, son. It's been
I'm
great.
out.
Sorry.
It's been great, but it's over. He fought Sakara. That's who Musoke fought. I saw him in Manchester. And he caught him in an armbar, actually. It was a great fight up until that, too. It was a ridiculous fight.
So understudies, so if the guy doesn't make weight, the other guy steps in.
Yeah. So like the guy doesn't get any of his purse. He gets no money if he doesn't make the weight. So you keep guys from doing stupid shit, like trying to lose 30 pounds in a day. Which we've all seen. I saw Travis Lutter. I've never seen a guy closer to death that went on to fight. Never saw a guy look so bad. Travis Lutter came in way overweight and tried real hard to make it, but the first time he was like 2.5 over, and then he couldn't lose anymore. He tried really hard, but he was so drawn out.
The Silva fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a non-title fight, and then he got stopped. He got caught in a triangle and got elbowed.
He came close to winning that. Got full mount in the first round.
Yeah.
I remember that going, God damn.
Travis Lutter was a motherfucker.
Dude.
He was one of those Texas strong dudes, Texas tough guy dudes who learned jiu-jitsu and got really fucking good.
I remember him taking tournaments out here.
Charles McCarthy.
Beat Huron Gracie?
Charles McCarthy, who I really respect. Did he beat Huron Gracie? Really?
Huron or Henner? Because a big tournament out here, and he ended up winning it. Lutter ended up winning it. And I know Huron and Henner were in it. I think he beat one of them.
I talked to Charles McCarthy was on the Ultimate Fighter with
Please
him.
look that up and confirm whether I'm an idiot or not.
And McCarthy said it was like rolling with Laborio. He said he's fucking good.
And that's an incredible compliment.
Yeah, saying that he's like rolling with, I'll put up Travis Lutter. Travis Lutter Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, it was like an invitational out here.
He was a motherfucker, dude. He was a motherfucker. He gets trained too long with his own people. Took too long before he eventually went to Jackson's. And by then, he wound up losing the Sapo to, what's his name? The guy who Tim Kennedy knocked out in Rafael Natal.
Yeah.
Remember that guy?
Oh, and the fight for the troops?
Yeah, fight for the troops. I don't know if they have his jiu-jitsu record.
Rich Franklin beat him up, too. Remember, he had a hand on his waist, just had no gas at all.
But he had Rich Franklin down and had him almost in an armbar. Travis Lutter was a motherfucker. He just didn't have good gas. Yeah, Rafael Natal was his last fight.
Yeah.
He got KO'd, and that was 2010. That's what got Natal into the UFC. And before that, he beat Jason McDonald. He was a beast, man.
Yeah.
He was a beast. But they cut him after the Rich Franklin fight. Just never quite reached his full potential. Wow, he got guillotined by Matt Lindland. Matt Lindland was a motherfucker, dude. People forget how goddamn good Matt Lindland was.
He was one of those guys who could beat anybody, but man, his style was just never fan friendly.
Yeah.
Matt Lindland's never.
Well, I don't know. You know that fan friendly thing? They say that about Askren too. To me, if you're a fan, you got to be fascinated by everything. I'm fascinated by the fact that he could take Douglas Lima down and ragdoll him like that.
Ragdoll, dude.
I'm like, what the fuck? I can't.
What am I looking at?
I couldn't believe it. I'm a fan of that, man. I'm a fan of that. You can't say that's not fan friendly because I was really bummed out when that Askren UFC thing didn't work out, and when Dana White said that Ambien takes Ben
an Askren when he
wants to go to sleep.
Oh.
I disagree. I think we have to, in order for a title to be legitimate, you have to see how a champion stands up to any and all challenges that are effective. And just because it's not fan-friendly doesn't mean it's not effective. If it's effective, if the better guy is going to fucking win, you got to let them fight any way they want.
The problem is, and guys like us that are hardcore fans of sport, what's hard for hardcore fans to understand is we aren't the target market. Everybody wants, the mom and pops of the world watching MMA. And we aren't, the hardcore fans tell me all the time, like, I should appreciate this. I'm a hardcore fan. It's like, they're not after you. They're after the regular Joe. They already have you.
Yeah.
No one's trying to get Jimmy Smith and Joe Rogan to watch MMA. We're going to watch it anyway.
Yeah, we're doing this for free.
We're doing this for free. I'm on vacation watching MMA with Joe Rogan. Oh, you got to make me do it.
Oh, Musoke just tagged him with the right hand. Musoke's been hitting him with some high kicks over and over again, just into the forearms. But you both know, man, forearms are not designed to take fucking hard Muay Thai
They are not.
kicks.
Why
That
don't you
sucks.
just take a bat and swing it at my
Yeah.
Oh.
People who see it at home, though, they go, oh, I blocked that. No, he's hurt. Like, that shit hurts like hell.
That's why I think I kick so much.
And it keeps you from
Fucking hurts,
punching.
man.
Your arms are fucked up for a while. Like, for a few seconds, you don't want to throw a punch with that arm because it's not feeling so good.
You don't want to punch. You don't want to move. You don't want to move your leg.
Robbie Lawler and Ellenberger, right off the bat, makes him check 3 or 4 of those with the forearms. He blocks them, but goddamn, Lawler was slamming those in. And that fucks your arms up.
I see Muay Thai fighters, man, laying in these stories about bathtubs full of ice, or like you can't even move at the end.
Well,
And those are ones that you blocked.
I talked to, do you remember, there was a dude named Shuki who used to be a trainer at Majiro Gym, and he worked with Stan Longinidis. Remember when Stan the Man Longinidis, he broke Dennis Alexio's leg in the first round with a leg kick? Stan had ridiculous power in his leg kicks, and Shuki used to hold pads for him, and he had to get a hip replacement because of holding pads for Stan Longinidis. Hold that leg pad, like on the leg, and he would just take him on the hip, boom, boom, wound up getting a hip replacement. Look at Musoke and Kelvin are in an epic fucking battle. Kelvin's a beast, dude.
Yeah.
I was so impressed when he beat Uriah Hall.
Yeah. How much did he miss weight by on this one?
2 pounds.
2 pounds.
Yeah. Looking for a guillotine. Oh,
Oh, nice.
Musoke,
Where's Masoke from?
Sweden. Huge wrestling background. Not.
Yeah.
Look at Kelvin. He's got his back. See, he's got to be thinking that Kelvin's fucking worn out from that weight cut.
Yeah.
And that might be
Jump
one of the
on him
reasons
early.
why, he's pushing such a hard pace. Because Kelvin barely made weight on the undercard of the Johnny Sanchez or Johnny Hendricks fight, the Johnny Hendricks-Robbie Lawler fight. He was one of the ones that also struggled to make weight. Barely made it, but again, looked like he was on fucking death's door. And that was back in Dallas.
And when you think about, if you're not around the fight world a whole lot, if you think about everything you're losing for that 2 pounds, that should be an indication about physically hard, what you've gone through, that you're like, 2 pounds, I'm out.
Yeah.
20% of his purse.
20% of your fucking purse. To walk away and just go, I just can't do this.
And it goes to your opponent.
How much
Yeah.
that fucking sucks?
It goes to the guy who's beating your ass right now.
It's just, imagine how hard those last 10 pounds were. They were awful.
Yeah.
Good control. Both hooks in, man.
Real good control. Yeah, Kelvin, who knows how he's feeling right now. Because if he actually missed the weight and just gave up, he must have been really fucking hurting.
Yeah, really trying.
Look at that fight night. The Donald Cerrone, Jim Miller, that fight's coming up.
It's going to be good.
That's gonna be great.
That's another one that makes my hands sweaty. Nico's, like I said, he's from Sweden, one of Gustafsson's buddies. He's very well-rounded, man. Super aggressive, too.
What do they start with over there, martial art wise?
I think MMA. I mean, I don't think they have like.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they have karate schools, and I'm sure they have some Muay Thai, but they're not. They don't have a wrestling background in their educational system.
No. I tried to explain to somebody, and I think I may have said on air to Bellator one time, I said, America, it's generally wrestling. Europe, they like kickboxing.
Yeah.
Brazil is jiu-jitsu. That's generally the base people start out with. Europe, kickboxing you can make a living at. They have Slam. They have a lot of good promotions out there.
Yeah.
Generally, if they're from Europe, kickboxing is where they start out. Good guys
Musoke's
all
doing
over
a great job with that left butterfly.
Nice.
Oh, look, Kelvin
Nice
turns
turn.
him over, and he's on top. 15 seconds to go, though. You got to do some damage. You want to win this round. You can't just let him hold on to you. Huh.
And he will.
Yeah. Kelvin's not getting anything off here. Ooh, good right hand. Nice. Nice punch at the bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Europe generally, and Sambo, man, it's amazing how many Sambo guys are fucking starting to trickle into MMA now and just dominate.
Those Russians are the Dagestanis.
Yeah, the Dagestanis, man.
Frightening.
That is a
got a few in Bellator,
hard
man.
place.
Fuck.
That is a hard place with hard men.
When Shabalat Shamalayev was going to fight Pat Kern for the belt, Pat Kern goes, hey, man, someone's, they have to kill me to take this belt away. And he looked right at him and goes, sure, I'm from Dagestan. It was hilarious. It was like, I forget what it was for. Like what they were talking about. He goes, someone's have to kill me to take my belt, like the general American. Yeah. He goes, sure. Dagestan happens all the time. You know, he made some joke about, you don't know where I'm from, bro.
Yeah.
Killing somebody for something is
That's
nothing,
serious.
dude. That was some scary shit.
That's the ultimate. You don't know where I'm from.
You don't know where I'm from, man.
I'm from one of the worst places on earth
to
for
grow up
humans.
and live. Yeah.
I mean, you could live in Africa in the jungle with leopards and shit. It'd probably be worse, but not much.
No, Vice.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the every
Yeah.
guy they interviewed
Yeah.
was like had fucking cauliflower ear.
Yeah.
And like, and the guy was like, he's like, it's not that we're terrorists. He's like, you killed my brother. You kill my brother, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And he had fucking gnarly ears. I was like, that is what you're doing.
Yes.
You're pissing
Yeah.
off a country full of wrestlers.
Yeah.
Kelvin looks so good on his feet. He's so light on his feet. And that's something that he started getting after the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
But again, Musoki keeps landing that right kick over and over and over again into the southpaw.
nice.
Oh, Kelvin with a good straight left. Oh, good combination. Right hook and a straight.
Feet
Oh,
are
nice
squaring up.
uppercut. You know, I think Kelvin
do
thinks
that.
he hurt Nico at the end of that round. Those couple shots, ground and
jumping
pound
on
he
him.
landed. Yeah, good kick to the body. Oh, fuck. He's all over him.
Got to get off the fence. Problem is, he's getting against the fence. His feet are squaring up.
Kelvin is a fucking monster, man. That's a tough kid. It's just, for me, it's a matter of him being healthy at this weight. I
Yeah.
think he can do it if he uses a guy like Dolce.
He's got to diet better because you can just look at him and be like, yeah,
Yeah.
he could lose some pounds.
I
got a
see
little-
I see a good 5-6 pounds there.
Yeah. Yeah, he just get with Dolce, bro. Pay him the money. It ain't 20%, okay?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You lost 20% of your purse. Pay Dolce. He knows his shit.
Yeah, he gets everybody on weight.
Everybody. And they look great. How about Thiago Alves? He had Thiago Alves 170 pounds the day before the weigh-in and looked smaller, looked like he lost a little bit of muscle, but man, had
moved
a
well.
great gas tank, moved well. And that's the difference. It's like, do you want to go Tyron Woodley where you're so big that, you're super explosive for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
I think psychologically, a lot of times for fighters, it's kind of a security blanket to be big and swole,
Yeah.
and they don't feel like they'll be able to win without it. It's more like the confidence of being the bigger, stronger guy, but it's not worth the trade-off a lot of times.
Yeah, it's not worth
It really
it.
isn't.
Losing your gas is the scariest thing ever.
Oh, that's the worst.
You have another person trying to beat you to death, and
Yeah.
you're tired.
Beat you to death.
Like if there wasn't a ref in there, that person could kill you.
Yeah, exactly. No one would save him.
There's a great story of George Foreman, Muhammad Ali when they were fighting in Zaire, and it's like the 7th or 8th round, it's almost over, and he goes, I had nothing left, and he goes, I hit Ali with a good one, a good body shot, and I heard him go, is that all you got? And I remember thinking, yeah, that's about it. And there's just that moment of going, all right, that's fuck, I'm out of gas. That's the worst feeling.
Oh, Kelvin's all over him again.
Yep.
Beautiful combination. Knee, he hit him with an elbow. Caught him on the elbow with that foot, though. That had to hurt. Oh, another one to
Oh,
the
good
body.
body kick.
Good blocking, too. Kelvin has improved so much and changed so much in the way he moves. That's, nice. Step off to the side and throw that left kick to the body.
Footwork's good. That's what's setting everything up. Is
Angles.
He's
Yeah.
cutting enough angles that he can't see it coming.
He's also light on his feet, which is a rarity in MMA. That's a really important thing, to have that mobility that you see so often in boxing and karate and a lot of other martial arts. But in MMA, so many guys are trying to Muay Thai it, stand flat foot and
Or
stand right in
wrestling.
front of you.
Wrestling's
Yep.
very flat-footed.
Yep.
Yeah, the accuracy rate on a 100% punch is so slim compared to if you land 50% shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get someone wobbled.
Yeah, and the footwork that you're able to achieve by being light on your feet, like the TJ Dillashaw Henan Barrow fight, where he's so light on his feet that Henan Barrow never had a stationary target to load up on.
Yeah.
All those spinning hit kicks, he was always pivoting at the same side.
Yep, he was always pivoting on the same side. He was just following them like an elevator door or like a one of those revolving doors.
Yeah.
Just get in it, follow the door. Kelvin's all over him though. This is all
Won't let him
Kelvin.
off the fence either.
This is the Kelvin Gastelum round, man. He's put a beating on Nico. So put to rest any thoughts about him being completely diminished by the weight
No.
cut. He's obviously got a lot in his fucking tank, man. And Nico's exhausted.
He's getting broke right
That's
now.
the thing that, they used to not test for EPO, which is kind of hilarious. Because the boxing commission, they would say that boxing is not an endurance sport, so you don't have to test for EPO.
Yeah. Having never, yeah.
Imagine
Spoken
that,
like someone who's never done it before.
that there's that dumb, and they're a part of the commission that's
Wow.
judging.
Yeah.
what gets passed and tested for, and maybe it was like EPO was too expensive to test for.
EPO, they developed a test in I want to say 2000 for EPO for the first time, and that's what Lance Armstrong was doping with.
Shane Mosley got popped for it.
Shane Mosley got popped for it.
Yeah, they found some old blood of his, and they're like, "Hey, let's
test this.
Give this a shot here."
Oh, it looks like you got some weird blood, dude. That's 50% more blood cells than a normal person's blood. How weird. This has turned out to be a good fight, though.
Very good.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do if they do wind up testing everybody and they find out that the roster's just overrun with people that are on everything.
Yeah.
You know, if they can test.
You said there's too many people in MMA.
I didn't really
That's
say
a good
it.
way to cull the herd, my friend.
I was asking. What do you? I mean, what do they do? What do they do if they find out like 60% of the people? They cut 60% of the people.
Now, if they start this procedure, how long does it take to get out of your system? Like, how long will they?
It's a good question.
That's the question. Is if everybody cut now,
someone's already got it figured out.
It's too late. Yeah,
there's some fucking guy out there that knows his shit, you know, and it's. Like, I was listening to the Balco guy talk about it. It's like there's always someone a step ahead because someone's still got to sell all that shit and figure everything out. So it's you know, I guarantee everything's already being very well planned. I
wonder if there's a new thing that they can take now that you can't test for.
Dopers are always ahead of the system.
Always.
They have to be. I mean, by definition they are because people have to do things.
That is the system.
That is the system. Is people do stuff. They do stuff that's illegal, and the testers figure it out and catch them, but they're always lagging behind.
Right.
You know, it was originally made EPO for leukemia patients that had trouble keeping their red blood cell count up. So it never occurred to them that somebody would take that in order to help their endurance, and then they started taking it, and now they had to make a test for it. So that's the cycle. They make it for something, and then someone figures out how to cheat with it, and then they figure out how to catch them. The catchers are the people who are trying to catch the people are always at the end of the process.
I'm ignorant as to how it's all done, so I don't know whether or not this is a stupid question. But is there like a point in time where they run out of things? There's no more things that you could add to the human body that they haven't already discovered. So there's no more things that you could add that they can't test for, like the clear stuff. Part of we had that guy on the podcast, Victor Conte, and he was talking about the whole Balco scandal. And what I found really interesting about it was that he just had altered some stuff and made it so it was not within their testing parameters, but still effective. Yeah. At a certain point in time, do they run out of those variations? I don't know.
I find it hard to believe. Michele Ferrari, who was a doctor who dealt with Lance Armstrong and helped him through his Tour de France win, so of course helped him dope, was asked one time, have we seen the limits of human endurance, of the capacity for human endurance? And he turned to the guy and he laughed and goes, we're nowhere near it. So they're always going to come up with something.
Yeah,
it's just it's going to be this cycle
say
for
that,
years.
Though, what I hear though is genetic engineering, and I hear things like high kick, myostatin inhibitors, and all the different shit that they're inevitably going to come up with down the pipe. But I wonder if like they're going to be able to come up with new steroids, because I think genetic engineering is a completely different ballgame.
Completely different. But no. Also think about it. I mean, will there be a cure for cancer? Yeah, we can sit here and go, yeah, eventually. So they got to come up with something.
Right.
It's like saying, will there be new steroids? Well, will there be new medical advances for other things? Yeah. Then there are going to be new ways to improve the human body. And I think we'll be playing this game probably the rest of our lives. Yeah.
I wonder.
Until they have robots doing this shit. Until it's like the Fox intro in real life. Like
the Fox intro.
I
hate those fucking robots.
I know you do. I had to bring that up.
I hate those fucking robots.
This isn't football.
So goofy. They're picking up robots and slamming them. Like, what?
Looks like the Transformers commercials.
Well, that movie. Remember that movie?
I didn't watch
Robot
that
Jocks. Which one? Oh,
the fucking Wolverine guy.
Yeah.
Was in
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
There was robot fighters, remember?
He put the gloves on and was
so
pushing the air.
Who fucking funded that movie?
I don't know.
That shit is so terrible.
That's awful.
Kelvin threw a kick
Another
and fell.
slip.
A lot of slipping in this fucking octagon, man, especially with logos. Do you find a difference in certain logos being more slippery than others?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
It's different surface, but I mean I get this weird heightened sensation in my feet when I'm out there moving, and like if I just step on that canvas, I'm like, oh. I got like a boner in my feet, and it gets all tingly, and I'm just dancing, and just feel this fucking
foot boner.
It's a weird, but yeah, you do feel a definite, especially if there's blood on it. Blood is the body's best lubricant. That's the fucking that shit gets on something.
Yeah, very slippery. It's why it's interesting when guys get cut. It actually makes them easier to choke. Can
Way
slide
easier.
things under their chin easier. This is a good fucking fight. Calvin's coming out strong.
Nice body shots.
Woo! Whip that right hand to the body.
And that's what I mean. Guys cut. They make these horrible cuts, and they perform great. It's just hard to.
It's like, come on, motherfucker.
Well,
yeah.
He's got to perform great. His back's up against the wall. The UFC fucking hates it when guys miss weight.
Bellator hates it too.
This is his second one or third?
They hate it.
I don't think he missed weight last time. He made it. He just needed a second attempt. No, I know he didn't. I was there. But this is his first. We fought at 185 on the show. And so he's fighting at 170 here. He's a 170. He can make 170, but he's got to do it more correctly and with more discipline. Oh, high kick. But he's still a bad motherfucker, dude.
He is.
Those 2 high kicks in a row. Sweet.
And he still has good footwork from the beginning of the fight to the end of the fight. Good footwork.
Very good. Yeah, light on his feet. He's
keep racking that thing.
Yeah, woo. And they're exchanging them back and forth.
Something big in fighting. Don't set a pace you can't keep. Don't do something in the first round you can't do in the third round.
Great.
He kept it up all 3 rounds.
Yeah, he did. And Musoke didn't. Interesting fight, man. Interesting fight. I wonder who got that.
I think that's the one thing that goes through my head the most in a fight is don't stop moving. Don't
stop moving.
Don't stop moving. I landed 43 leg kicks, I think Ariel Helwani said. My last fight. That was just legs. I kicked him in the body and the head a little bit. But I mean, I landed 43. I mean, the whole time I was just going, I think I landed one every 20 seconds. They broke it down to.
I was always thinking if I'm hitting him, he's not hitting me.
Yeah.
Like if I just keep hitting him.
Make him miss too.
Make him miss, man.
As long as you keep it up. Just gotta keep doing that.
Angles and footwork.
What is the best thing for strength and conditioning for? And is there any one thing? Is it fight training, or is strength and conditioning like just as important as fight training when it comes to that?
With the way the athletes are in this sport now, strength and conditioning is huge. And I mean, we just kind of started putting it out on the internet. We have these 50-gallon barrels. My coach Corey Beasley at Fight Camp Conditioning. You know who John Brookfield is? He's the guy who started the ropes and the towels and all the shit. And
he started
he's
all
got
that
the world's strongest grip. He's just some walrus who pulls trucks and shit. But he's kind of given this barrel idea to Corey, and you put 500 pounds of sand in a big plastic barrel, and you push and pull and kind of roll it. You can check it out on my Instagram, Uncle Creepy MMA, and you just roll this thing back and forth, and it's fucking it. I've never had something make me so strong in my entire life. But I mean, obviously, besides wrestling, but there's not you can't not have the training drilling. You have to drill something 10. You want to master anything, you have to drill it for 10,000 hours. It's true. You have to do everything, and we've got so much shit to try and master that.
But that sounds crazy. Right. So you're grabbing this giant barrel, and what are you specifically trying to do with it?
Think about from a clinch. You know how like Johnny Hendricks picked.
It's huge though, right? Can you even get your arms around it?
No. There's a top on it.
Okay.
And then you sit there and you grab it, and you grab it here and you twist it. So you've got 500 pounds that you're twisting back and forth.
It's core
or you're pushing and pulling, and all the muscles throughout the whole part of it are. I mean, the first couple times you do it, you're like, holy shit.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever used these muscles before. let me pull it up for you. It's fucking.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I'm on your Instagram right now. Calvin Gaslam wins a decision.
It's
Now give that money to Dolce, son.
Yeah.
Call Dolce. Oh, you got a cool picture of your daughter getting into the cryo thing. That's adorable. You got it? Oh, he's got it up here. Here, pull it up. Give it to us in large size.
There we go. And there's a video of it too.
I didn't see the video. I just saw the picture.
And so that's 500 fucking pounds.
Yeah, that's the sand. There's one of water too. That's.
Oh my god.
Here, check the.
Where's the video?
That's a routine. It's a little bit down. Maybe?
How far? How long ago did you put it up?
A couple weeks.
A couple weeks ago. Are you a daily Instagrammer guy?
Yeah, I'm an Instagram whore. But I don't run. I'm. There is other people that do post things on my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter. So if I don't fucking say thanks for if people fucking send me private messages all the time and I don't.
Right.
Sorry,
I have a real hard time keeping up with those.
This hip workout you're doing is giving me some wood, bro. I'm not even gonna lie about it. Like not even. I mean,
that's
it's kind of doing.
Granted, my
Whoa.
girlfriend only weighs like 95 pounds.
Check it out, Joe. I'm passing the wood on to you. You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. It's
Interesting.
manwood though.
I'll split you
It's
in
not
half.
gay. It's totally different.
This
It's
is kinda
manwood.
wild, man.
It's MMA wood.
So this is just a sequence that you go through. Wow,
Yeah.
this hip escape thing that you're doing with the weight on you. How much weight is that?
I don't know.
It looks like a lot of
Yeah,
weight.
You gotta. I don't know. I don't remember.
404.
It looks
3
like
plates, right?
Oh, it's up there. I don't know. It's a lot of weight. I'm kind of. I don't know. I've gotten kind of strong.
I love how you say like whatever. I don't even know, dude.
You can do it. I've been.
Don't even know, bro.
I've been working with Corey for a long time.
Don't
He
even
just
know.
he tells me what to do.
it looks like a 45, 2 35s, and a 25. What is that? 145 on each side is 135. Is that 2 35s or two? It is, right? 2 35s
Looks like
and
it.
25. That's a lot of fucking weight, son. That's a lot of weight, and that's a normal Olympic barbell, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, kid. That's got to be really good for your fucking back. Your back and core must be
Jesus.
tremendously strong.
Yeah. It's fun, and it's something that we're trying to. Everyone's into CrossFit, and CrossFit's cool or whatever, but.
Well, what is CrossFit? It's
Yeah.
just, cross training.
Yeah, it's just
adding a bunch
cross-tra-
of different types of exercises.
Exactly.
together.
It's what I like to do, and I've gotten good at it, and we've kind of built a system. And but yeah, and again, the barrels is the toughest thing that I've never felt something make me so strong.
That's wild. I love that thing that you're doing up there with the weight too, because that lifting the hips up like that. First of all,
That's everything.
must drastically increase your ability to send it home on a chick, right, dude?
Yes.
Who,
We're all
who
thinking it.
fucks harder than Uncle Creepy?
Have you
We're
seen?
all thinking
Have
it.
you seen my girl? You seen my
You
girlfriend?
got to send it in. You got to keep a gal happy. Ooh, look at this next. Cub Swanson and Jeremy Stevens. 5 rounds, too, if it goes. Do you think it'll go 5 rounds?
Oh no,
I don't
it's not
think
gonna
so,
go 5
no.
rounds.
Jeremy Stevens rocking a crazy Amish beard. I probably won't go 5 rounds. But that's got to be tremendous for your ground game when it comes to like hip escapes and things like that. To have that ability to pop up off the strength of that, it's amazing.
Yeah,
And you're fighting guys 125 pounds, and you're doing that with whatever the fuck that was, however much weight that was.
Yeah. It was that's something that actually I was talking to the On It guys about doing the takeover thing, and then trying to do, instead of like Cub did just him, I was thinking of doing me and strength conditioning stuff because it's On It kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's our new thing. It's just fight camp conditioning. It's fun, and it's it actually it fucking works, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone weighs 125 pounds, I'm gonna fucking send them for a ride.
Yeah, I think what you had there was 325 pounds, wasn't it?
I can text Corey.
Well, let's figure it out, because it's 145 plate on each side with an Olympic barbell is 135 pounds, right?
Right.
And then you add 235s on each side, which is 140 to that, so you have 275, and then you have 225s on that as well. So that's another 50 pounds.
Yeah.
So that's 325 pounds. That's fucking crazy. That's a lot of goddamn
lot of weight.
to fuck. If you had a big girl on top of you, she's like, motherfucker, you can't send it in.
Dude,
And you're
just
lifting her up while you're fucking from the bottom. She'd be like, damn, that little white boy fucked me right.
I
don't know why I made her a black chick.
I don't know why I just thrown that
They
in
get
there.
that big, I just automatically think they're black.
That's just what I think. I let my dick do all the work. I don't know you guys that need all these weights and shit.
Listen, sometimes
Sorry,
you need a little help.
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm not all dick.
I'm like
I got a lot of
40% dick. I let my dick do all the work. I don't need this hip exercise shit.
Cub Swanson has got one of the wildest, most unpredictable styles of attack. His fight with Dennis Seaver,
Yep.
the last combination when he had him hurt, it was so fucking accurate and just ridiculously wild. Like real wild, but super accurate.
Explosive, man.
He does all of his strength and conditioning while balancing. He'll do like weightlifting stuff while he's standing on balls and stuff. Like those what are those balls? What are those things
balls?
called?
Or not medicine balls.
No, yeah.
Balance balls,
plyo balls.
Plyo balls,
Yeah.
whatever you call them. But he does all that stuff, like he'll stand on half balls and do like kettlebells. Like everything he does, he's doing with balance. Jeremy Stevens, a motherfucker though. That kid
He
is
hits so
hard.
Heavy-handed, man.
He hits hard. And he hit hard as a lightweight, as a 145.
He kept all that power going to 45, and that's a
Yeah.
rare thing.
Well, he's healthy. He's doing it real
Yeah.
good. Alliance is a serious fucking team, man.
And he fucking knocks people out over there all the time.
Does he really?
Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking he's a little, you know, he's a lot of fun to hang out with, but he's a fucking savage in the gym.
Yeah, I would imagine. He's an interesting guy to talk to. I enjoy talking to him.
Smart guy.
Yeah, I had him on the podcast. He was great. He's an interesting dude, but his fucking power is redonkulous. But Cub is just so awkward.
Can he deal with the angles and the explosive? That's the question.
Yeah. Yeah, Cub's a wild man. I would like to see a rematch of Cub versus Aldo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, Aldo caught him. You can't
Blinked him with that
yeah,
double flying knee,
That
man.
double
Yeah.
knee.
Jesus.
It is what it is. You know, you get hit with that, that's a wrap. Your head's split open. I mean, he covered up immediately, had a big-ass scar. But I would like to see what would happen if that fight... Well, that was a different Cub Swanson then, too. I mean, Aldo was at his peak then.
Yeah.
He's still... I don't think Aldo has diminished at all.
Everyone else has gotten better.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
slowed down a little bit because he takes it... He plays it a little bit more safe because he's got so much to lose.
And he's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
He's gotten bigger.
Yeah.
It's a big dude.
I don't think the dude wants to go to 155 because if he goes to 155, he's not going to have his title. His title means a lot.
Yeah.
You know, being a world champion means a lot. And as long as he can make the weight, it's going to be real hard unless they have like some sort of a super fight.
Now, if they had a super fight, and it was if I win, I'm the 55-pound champ. If I lose, I'm still the 45-pound champ. I think he'd take that.
Yes.
I
I
think
think
you
that's
take
the
that.
way to do it. I think that's the way to get him in. But, you know, with a guy like Aldo, man, he's a fucking hero in Brazil. He's a hero.
Yeah.
He's a huge star. And as a mixed martial artist, man, to be a world champion is where it's at.
Yeah.
He is a world fucking champion. It's just, that's the one thing, man, that fucking weight cut.
He would if he went 55 once, I don't think he would go 55 again.
Really?
Because I mean, he just seems like he just gets he would put on too much weight, and then it would just
Yeah.
be fucking death to get down. But
Like
what do you
it
think?
wasn't hard before. Once you taste
Yeah.
what it's like to not cut that,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to get back down again.
And if he tasted what it's like to feel good when you're actually inside.
Yeah.
It
When
could
you're
be a good
inside
change.
that
You never
ring.
know.
It could be
I
because
think
I think he has a good chance against Pettis. I think
Yeah.
he has a good chance in that fight.
Yeah.
You know who else has a good chance in that fight? Pettis.
Yep, very good, very good.
Problem. Pettis has a good chance.
That's why it's a
too.
great fight.
So if Aldo goes up and gets KO'd by Pettis, you know, but Pettis said he could make 145, man. He said he could make it.
Yeah, Pettis is not a huge 55er.
No, he's not.
Fucking slick, man. Jesus.
Very
So
slick. Really good on the ground too.
Yeah.
That's what people sleep on. When he caught Henderson with that armbar, I mean that was a standard BJJ 101
Just
armbar from
Run
the
of the
guard.
mill, dude.
So
Yep.
quick.
But done well.
Done perfectly. Nice adjustment. He changed the angle.
He's what, a blue belt? I think they were saying.
I think he's a purple belt.
And it was just a fucking basic drilled armbar. But
Yep.
just
It's why they do it that way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's why we do it like that.
Yeah, he's just fast as fuck, man. He's fast as fuck with everything. But he tore his patella tendon and he tore his LCL in that fight. Had it all stitched back up and shit. But, you know, that's why he's doing this Ultimate Fighter with Gil.
give him some time.
Yeah, give us some time to heal, get it all back in order, and then eventually fight Melendez for the title, which will be a very fun fight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Gilbert's a fucking beast. But that you know, Gilbert, that shows you how crazy he is. Because he could have fought Diego Sanchez in a safe way.
Yeah.
He could have just kept Diego at bay and
Two Mexicans getting at it.
Nope.
Nope.
That was just, you know, I mean, it's not being racist.
Yeah.
I'm Mexican, myself Spanish, same difference.
There's nothing wrong
And
with
they
Nothing
just
wrong with that.
threw down.
They're both proud Mexicans. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what
seriously.
he said when I interviewed him after the fight.
Yeah.
He's like, that's how Mexicans fight.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
You go fucking wrestle at Santa Ana High School like I did, getting ready for Masters and shit. Those are some fucking mean kids.
Calvary
they beat
Chapel.
the shit out of each other. Yeah,
Calvary Chapel, Santa Ana,
I mean, they
studs.
fuck each other up so bad.
Yeah.
That's where Eddie Bravo grew up.
Santa Ana?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small little place, but there's some rough fucking people there.
Dude, I'm from Long Beach, man. Fuck.
Yeah, you know.
I know.
I'm
Do you
from
get
Newport,
excited when you
motherfucker.
hear
Oh, yeah.
a Snoop Dogg song?
Went to my high school,
Did he?
Long Beach Poly High School,
Yep.
man. Home of scholars and criminals.
Good ass fucking
Scholars
school.
and criminals
Home of
all
scholars.
together.
It's a whole home of scholars and champions, but
Yeah.
that's not what it
Good fucking
home of
sports.
scholars and number one NFL producing high school in the country.
Really?
Boosh. More
Number
NFL
one?
players went to Long Beach Poly than any other high school in the country.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Why is that?
their football program is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's been
it's
awesome.
fucking
for
incredible. It's been
couple
an offer
decades.
for like 30 years. It's been amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
40 years actually.
How wild.
Yeah, and it's an old school. It's been around since like
Yeah.
I was the 100th graduating class.
Fuck.
Yeah, 1895.
Yeah, and growing up in Newport, what is it like being around all those yachts? Is it hard?
Yeah, is it rough, dude?
It's really hard, man.
All those
I had
Mercedes.
it rough.
Bro, everybody had a Mercedes. We had a Lexus.
Every
It's
time you're in
fucked
front of a restaurant, it's somebody throw you the keys and go, park where I can see it. Some shit.
You know,
The only dark dude in Newport.
You just can't trust him. You know, you want to give him your keys to your car, but
Fucking white
he's got
people,
dark
man.
skin.
Oh,
Newport's
they're
so
awful.
pretty. It's so pretty.
beautiful, though.
It's South Orange County is
Yeah.
it's the
The
California
home of white
Riviera.
people.
Yeah.
And you know what? I live in the southernmost part.
Do you?
I live in San Clemente now. And San
San
Clemente,
Clemente, you're
San
almost
Clemente-
in San Diego.
It's fucking San Clemente's the last good family town
It's nice.
in Orange County because it's just surfing and family. And then for anyone my age that wants to be hip and cool and fucking work for a cool company, go live in Costa Mesa.
Costa
There's-
Mesa is a good
Dude,
spot.
I mean,
Yeah.
the food there is fucking incredible, and there's ass everywhere if you're a guy,
Cha-chow.
and just it's a lot of good jobs and cool people.
No shit. Well, Orange County is pretty badass. It's just the traffic is so ridiculous.
Because LA is so good, right?
Well, once you get there, like people just stay there because
Yeah.
it's like you can't go anywhere.
No, you
Getting
don't-
from
you don't
Orange
go.
County up to here is a fucking joke.
My dad did
Yeah.
it for 39 years. He drove to downtown LA from fucking Laguna.
Uphill both ways.
in knee-deep snow.
He had no brakes. He had holes in the floorboards. He stuck his feet out
Like the
Flintstone
fucking
style.
Flintstones.
Had a bunch of built Supras.
Did he?
Yeah, before we owned a fucking Toyota dealership, so he drove
Yeah.
up here. And then we had a built Porsche,
What's a fucking more reliable car than a Supra?
a fucking 1200 horsepower on a
Yeah.
stock transmission.
Amazing. Those cars. I had a Supra. That was the first good car I had.
Oh, they're fucking incredible.
Fucking
They're
great.
still, the 97 was the last year of the turbo, 98. I
They
think
still
the
look
hardtop.
good, too.
Yeah, and it's still, you can get 1,000 horsepower out of those fucking things.
And
Easy.
they look great.
Yeah.
They're still a cool looking car. You see a Supra with that big crazy wing.
Yeah.
Woo!
Pushing around like a shopping
Yeah,
cart.
I love that car. Love that fucking car. Cub Swanson, ready to step into the octagon. God damn, I'm looking forward to this
That's
fight.
gonna be a good one. Now, you don't want to see this, right, Ian? You're gonna leave. You're gonna.
What are you gonna do, man?
I gotta go.
hang out in the lobby.
Come on.
I'm gonna play with it. I'm gonna ride the werewolf.
Someone-
Everyone's afraid of it.
He's fucking fired up.
I
man.
love that movie.
Yeah.
American Werewolf in
American
London.
Werewolf in London is one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
It's one of the all-time greats. It's amazing.
Remember Silver Bullet? That was a great one too. With a young Corey
Stephen
Haim,
King
dude.
movie?
With a young Corey Haim in
Corey
a wheelchair.
Haim, before the drugs.
Rest in peace, bro. Lost Boys, don't get me started. Gonna watch fighting.
Corey Feldman's holding up the flag.
Yep,
Man.
he is, man.
he's keeping it strong.
He's
right?
keeping the Corys alive. The one Corey that's
Remember
left.
when they were together? The two Corys doing movies
Oh
together?
man,
Just like fucking Bill and Ted. Whatever happened to Ted or Bill? Whoever the other guy
Alex
was.
Winter is his name. He's in Lost Boys. Those are basically the only two movies he did. I'm serious. If you look
How
around
do you
IMDb,
know
that was the only two movies he
How do
did.
you know that?
I remember names.
That's
He's
amazing.
His name was Marco in the Lost Boys. He was the first vampire that got killed, and he
Dude.
did.
I commend you for that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Please.
that's knowledge right
That's
there.
some deep
I
trivia.
come from a trivia family,
You
so
just pulled that shit out
I
like you
will-
owned it.
Directed by Joel
That's
Schumacher.
incredible.
Go ahead.
Is this directed by who? How the fuck do you know that? Just amazing that guy.
I remember weird shit. That's part of the reason I'm in MMA. I guess
Keanu Reeves
I'm
is
a
like one of the
commentator.
biggest actors of all time.
Yep.
Keanu.
And he was in this big movie with that dude. So you would think, like, well, both these guys are going to go on to bigger and
Alex
better
Winter
things.
did not.
Separate.
I wonder
Do you
what
ever
that
see his
dude's doing.
band? You ever see fucking Keanu Reeves' band when he was
No.
looked all
Dogstar.
strung out?
Dog Star.
He was
Playing the
strung out
bass.
for a
He looked
while?
like it, just fucking playing the bass, all fucked up looking.
Yeah, he had a band for a while, right? He has so much Matrix money, he didn't know what to do. He started doing
Yes.
They gave me
Gotta
$200
spend
million.
this somehow.
What the fuck do I do? I'm going to start a band. Fuck
Oh.
it. There's a documentary. Jared Leto did a documentary on his issues with being in a band and money and like
Must
how-
be rough.
Called
No.
Artifact.
What is it called, Jamie?
Artifact.
Huh?
Artifact.
That's what the
Artifact?
band.
The movie. Yeah.
The movie is
It's
called
Artifact.
about his
Right.
band.
Yep.
Well, he had some huge struggles. Is that the movie about the financial issues
Yeah, he
with
got
getting sued?
Yep, for $30 million.
Yeah,
Fuck.
By whom?
By his
but
label.
record company, by
Oh.
the label. It's like apparently
It's crazy.
the way they do math, like they do.
It's just fucking off.
I've heard it before. Like Courtney
Yeah.
Love wrote a whole piece on it once about the way they do the accounting, so that it never looks like they've made money. So they never have to pay you.
Yeah.
The only way you make money is when you're touring. That's when you make money. But record sales go almost entirely to the record company themselves, and they have their own wacky ways of deciding, it's like Hollywood.
What I've heard a lot is
accounting is
any money they spend on promoting your album, they consider a loss, and they'll call all these things promotional expenses.
Yeah.
So it's everybody, you're paying basically for everybody who works for the label, because that's a promotional expense for your album.
Hilarious.
I've heard that a lot.
That shit is
movies
hilarious.
too.
I saw them. The first time I saw them, they sounded great. Jared Leto sounded fucking awesome. Then I saw him in Tahoe, and I think he was trying to sing on his own without like auto-tune or something, and sound fucking horrible. I left.
You walked out.
Yeah.
So it was
Wow.
great, and then they were terrible.
And they were so bad. Oh, man, it was awful.
When in doubt, use auto-tune, son. Okay, here we go. Jeremy Stevens and Cub Swanson. Ooh. Cub is quick, man. That's the other
he's
thing
naturally
about Cub.
fast.
And he can keep that quickness up for 3 rounds. The real question is, can he keep it up for 5? He's got such a explosion-based style where he leaps in a lot with shit. Jeremy with a good leg kick there. Ooh.
Jeremy hits so fucking hard throughout the entire fight.
Yeah. Everything Jeremy does is heavy. His kicks and his punches are very, very heavy.
He's got a very good chin, too. Very rarely do you see him get stunned. I mean, he got knocked out by Eve Edwards, but Eve just caught him perfect and caught him when he was running in. He was attacking, and Eve just timed a right hand, just perfectly placed hook. And that was what facilitated him going down to 145. But, anybody
He had lost 3 in a row at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody running in
Yeah.
to something, you just, shit happens. Like Benavidez and Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse, it's very rare that Mighty Mouse knocks guys out with one punch, but Benavidez just walked into it and boom.
He hit me with the same exact punch. I ran into the same shit. Knocked me down. I mean, he didn't knock me out, but
Yeah, he's very quick. Very quick. Ridiculously quick.
Yeah.
We were talking about Simon Marcus and Joe Schilling. That's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
He just ran at him trying to get that point back because they took a point away from him for the mouth guard. And Schilling just caught him perfect. There was 2 in that. Wayne Barrett, same thing. The guy was chasing after him. He caught him in midair with a hook.
dude, that was fucking like watching Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Boom.
That's
out of
what it
the
looked
sky.
like, man.
Yeah, literally flying knee out of the sky with a hook.
I
So
turned to
much-
the guy next to me. I was like, looks like, Fedor Arlovsky, man.
Yeah.
In the air 1
Yep.
second,
Boom.
down on your face the next.
Exactly. That's why the flying knee is so wacky.
Yeah.
Duke Rufus gave perfect commentary on that too. It's like, you feel like you're immortal. You're just gonna flying knee the guy, but you don't realize you're fucking. Your face is flying towards his fist too. So Jeremy's been landing some good, clean right hands.
I like his leg kicks, starting early with him.
Hard kicks and hard punches too, and you can see Cub he's well aware that Jeremy's throwing. Ooh, look at this.
Fucking slick.
I cartwheel with one hand
Look
Yeah,
because I'm a gangster.
he's trying some Rolling Thunder shit with the round kick.
Not gonna lie, I've been trying that lately. It's kind of fun. I never land it. I just throw it in people's direction.
Well, Pettis has been trying that a lot too, according to Duke.
I don't even think I've ever even brushed anyone's hands. I just fucking throw it, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Well, you ever see
Fucking
Brian
listen to-
Ebersol throw that cartwheel kick? He loves that Rolling Thunder kick. He does it really well, too. And he did it in a fight once, Ebersol did, and they thought it was a fix. They were going to fine him, and they were talking. They thought it was a fake fight because they thought that technique wasn't real.
Wow.
Like, that's how dumb some of these
let me
fucking people that are
fucking hit you
running
with
these
it.
athletic commissions are. It's essentially like a spinning axe kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's like.
There's a guy, Muay Thai guy, Sanchez Sor Kingstar, who's
Yes.
incredible. And he'll do that one-handed. I saw him hit a dude in Holland
that's
with
where I
that.
took it from.
Wow,
Ooh,
just knock him right back.
Jeremy just caught Cub with
clipped
a
him.
nice right hand.
Sanchez fucking and he's
Beast.
and he's not built like your average Thai. He's short and stocky and just
Yeah.
tosses everybody.
So
Crazy
good.
fast.
Push kicks.
So good to watch those high-level ties go at it, too. When you see, like, just the fluidity of the kicking technique and the speed of the motions, and you just see that next level striking.
Yeah, it's fucking frightening.
What I like is Jeremy's throwing hard, you can tell, but he's still on balance. He's not losing his
Ooh.
footwork over it.
Good kick by Cub there.
Yeah.
This is a high-level fight, man. And the winner of this fight easily could be the next guy in line at 145. You know,
Didn't they say
BJ...
that?
I'm not saying it, but They said to Jeremy that if he won, he could be assured of a child shot or something like that in some interview. But honestly, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It only, I mean, it's
Nice
it
right.
ooh, good right hand by Cub. Oh shit.
Oh.
Caught the
Nice.
kick. Let's see what Cub does off his back. Goes right to butterfly.
Cub's got a fucking black belt, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He used to coach my nephew out in Palm Springs.
Guillotine. He's holding on to that neck, man. Jeremy's got to be careful. If he scoots his butt out and gets a good grip on that neck, he's passing his right arm through. What's he doing with his right arm?
Now, he's in a position where you can sweep or go over the head for the neck. So he's got to watch both.
And he keeps scooting his hips back, but I like the where he's holding. Ew, what are you doing, Fox? What's going on here? Oh, that's the round. The round's over. I was like, what is that?
Fucking creepy.
And this is a creepy commercial, too, where you're like, if I'm going to look like that, do I really want to begin this sport?
Yeah.
We're gonna turn into a pumpkin after this round. Should
we really?
Should we push it? until it
Yeah,
happens?
yeah, we're gonna have to. We're 3 hours in, so this fight must be going long. Is that what's going on? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
already
we're at-
10 o'clock.
We've got less than 6 minutes left on this.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's shut off and come back on because it's in between rounds.
I'll leave the audio on.
So the audio will just keep running the way it is. So folks on Ustream will be right back.